Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 547.
The sexiest podcast on a network.
Pew pew pew
Snowiest
pew.
podcast on a network? Probably not.
Yeah. No, because like the East Coast with that storm got way more snow than we're gonna get, even if we got projected numbers.
Yeah, but you know, fuck them guys. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. Glad we
You know,
could
it's
agree
weird.
on that. That was a great podcast,
You know,
Brian. Let's go.
this snowstorm that's hitting us, you know, they were talking at one point, you know, they could be up to like what 16, 18 inches for our
I heard
area.
20 inches.
Yeah. As it got closer, the number seemed to creep down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then like tonight on the news, they were like, okay, it's going to be anywhere from like 8 to 14, and
Right.
and it's funny though, because like it is amazing how like looking at this realistically, right?
Yes.
Like, okay, we're going to have across 2 days just constant snow.
In
so
theory,
2 days
right?
Right. So 2 days are going to be basically a wash. You're not really going to be able to get out and do much. Okay. People were buying groceries like we were never going to get groceries again.
Oh, I'm aware.
Right. So
I'm aware of this, Brian.
So it's like, okay, well, 2 days are a wash. They said that by the weekend, they'll probably have roads clear, you know, enough to drive again. So let's say 3 days. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, to get you through 3 days, you really shouldn't need everything in a grocery store.
Whoa,
but like I said,
slow down, Brian. You need 8 loaves of bread and 14 gallons of milk.
Dude, I could not get over. Like, I ordered mine online because you knew it was going to be just a mad, like Thunderdome inside.
Well, plus you were the smart one.
Yeah, I guess.
I did not.
Well, so the day of, I get a message, and they're like, hey, we're experiencing high volumes, so please let us know, like 15 to 20 minutes before you get here.
Right.
Which normally they're just like, hey, let us know when you're here, So I did, and when we got there, we sat for about 20 minutes before
they got serviced.
And then I felt so bad for the kid bringing the stuff out. They had like one kind of like one of the stacks of stuff was pretty tall. And as he was bringing it out, he clipped the edge of the door, and the whole back tower just collapsed. And I'm like, oh, because I knew it was my stuff, So I'm like, son of a bitch. So
now
he gets
I have parking lot food.
So but no, it was just as he was coming out of the store. So it fell into the store basically.
Oh, well, at least there's that.
So he gets it all, whatever, brings it out to the vehicle. And then he's like, hey, my coworker is going to get you another 24-pack of Coke, because basically it just exploded not like the cans exploded opening, but just cans went everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure. I mean, they enclose cans in the thinnest cardboard known to man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so that's not a surprise.
Right. He goes, and your apples, and I'm like, oh, my Cosmic Crisps, like,
I got some Cosmic Crisps.
So. Well, here's the funny part, right? Yeah. So I get home, we unpack everything, and I'm like
you do.
Here's a bag of apples. A couple minutes later, I'm like, wait, here's a bag of apples. So I ended up with twice as many Cosmic Crisps as I was supposed to have. And I got to tell you,
got bonus apples.
Boy, it made for maybe the most beautiful looking, like, display of apples I've ever had in my house. Because they're all like, know how they look. They're shiny red and beautiful. And yeah. So... and honestly, dude, I don't know that you can tell they were all sorts of screwed up, because they told me they didn't have the paper plates I wanted, so they replaced them with these other kind. But then when I got home,
porcelain.
no, like I get home, and then there's like 2 other packs of paper plates in there also. And I ordered some fruit snacks and they said they were out, and they replaced them with these others. And when I got home, I had both. So wow. I was like, okay.
I mean, free groceries is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and they've shorted me plenty of times. So this is one of those where I'm just going to take this as a balance.
Dude, take it as a win. I mean, how many times do you think Kroger's bent you over?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
You've heard my stories of how they are.
Exactly. That's if you get a couple extra fruit snacks and an extra bag of apples, man, fuck them guys.
Yeah. Well, Jen ended up taking me to get groceries, so I gave her the extra box of fruit snacks because, I don't know if you know, like she loves fruit snacks. Right. So I was like, well, here, because she wouldn't take any money for, driving me around to a few places that night.
Like, I have all these fruit snacks in my pockets like nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
It will allow you to wet your beak.
I was rich in fruit snacks, apples, and paper plates. So but since I had so many apples, I also introduced my sister to Cosmic Crisps because she's like, "What kind of apples are those?" She's like, "Those look really good."
Like,
and I was like,
"Mine, don't touch."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, basically. I mean, that's why I have a security detail on them.
Got like a laser grid around it, like entrapment.
Yeah. Yep. Good luck getting in there.
She's got to, do that like weird. Well, who was in that movie? Not Selena Gomez.
No, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, she's got a Catherine Zeta-Jones cartwheel through the kitchen to get an apple.
Yeah. So, I'm like, here, take one home. And she just like immediately just, does the old shirt wipe and right into it. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, right. And I was like, don't even think you're getting any more though.
I can't do that anymore.
Really? Oh, because
I got the fake tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got to throw it in the blender or something now?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I treat it like I treat a clove of garlic. I just smash it with a pan.
Yeah. Tony, what the hell are you doing? Having an apple?
No, that's why, like in my, in my lunchbox, I always have that little, like French pocket knife I bought.
Oh yeah.
That thing is fucking wicked sharp, dude. It's my apple knife, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like when I eat apples, I don't bite into them anyways. I have one of those things where you just right through it, slice into it, cores it, and slices into like.
Those are legit as fuck.
Slices. Yeah.
I miss the days of when I just could grab it off a tree when we go apple picking.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore without risking like leaving half a tooth in a thing.
Well, now you're the like that old guy who always those people who always go into produce things and they cut like a segment out of whatever they're having to here, taste this.
I mean, you're not wrong. I typically have a knife on me at all times.
Right. Yeah. So you're that guy now.
I have become that guy. You're right.
Yeah. Once you start whittling on your porch, it'll all make more sense.
You make a good. What I should do is next time we go apple picking, I need to make sure I like clean up my pocket knife before we go.
Yeah.
So I can just like whip it out in the field and start cutting up an apple.
That's right. Well, then, since you can't bite into them, that still at least allows you that aspect.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
See, I have a handicap, people.
Yeah. So that night, after I go and pick up groceries, it was like, well, we don't have,
this
here's
Monday
the list
or Tuesday?
What day was that?
I'm just curious what day, because I know my timeline of bullshit.
Okay, it was Monday because I was like, even though Tuesday was going to be the nicer day, I knew Tuesday there's basically going to be nothing left.
My arms are too long to reach my monkey shoulder. Not too. It's all the way over there.
Too long. Like you go to reach for it, you just keep hitting the wall.
Well, it's like the cord is really short.
Yeah, so close. So afterwards, I was gonna go up to the fruit and vegetable store up the road, but I forgot they close at 7, so I couldn't do that.
Right.
So I was like, well, I needed to go up to Food Town, the little local store up here.
I gotta ask, how was that store?
Not bad, actually. Here, it's so weird, man. I know I said this before, but it's like you go into Kroger and it's just, like I said, it's Thunderdome. It's just savage.
Like, cats and dogs sleeping together.
Yeah, right? You go up here and everybody's like, oh, excuse me, pardon me, and they're all nice and calm. People are like, oh, you can, like, I had a decent amount of stuff in my cart, but it wasn't like crazy. The woman who was in front of me had a heaping cart and she was like, do you want to go in front of me? And I was like, no, you're whatever. And she goes, well, here. And she actually backed up and let me go in front of her. That would have never happened at Kroger.
Oh, God, no. You would have probably got punched in the throat and they would have ransacked your basket.
And you know how it is. It's like on nights like that, you're just like, hey, look, it's going to take the time it takes.
Yes.
But I get up there and I mean, first thing I'm met with is right on their front door, there's a sign that says no milks. So I was like, oh my. And they weren't kidding. There was like, well, I mean, it wasn't entirely true because they still had like oat milk and almond milk, but they didn't have cow milk.
Yeah.
Except I was able to get me, one little cute, jug of the old chocolate Calder's.
Well, it didn't say we're out of pure delicious.
Right. I mean, after I was there, they were out because I snagged the last one.
Right.
So,
fair enough.
But yeah, all the cream cheese was gone. All that was gone. A lot of their bread was gone. The meat was, oh my God, was it picked over? I got the last pack of chicken. I got the last pack of Italian sausage. Italian sausage. But man, it was cleaned out pretty good as far as that stuff goes. But they still had a lot of like frozen stuff and produce, and because who needs produce?
Fuck them veggies, am I right, guys?
Yeah. Meanwhile, both stores were out pretty much of like Little Debbie's, but all the vegetables
American
were
produce.
Yeah. That's what made me laugh, because I'm like, yeah, people are clearly necessity buying right now.
Oh yeah, exactly. Would you rather be snowed in of a house full of beets and carrots or a house full of zebra cakes and Swiss cake rolls?
I mean, it's clear. Funny you mentioned Swiss cake rolls. Neither store had, because I actually was going to get a box of them, but that was right out. I did get a box of zebra cakes though.
There you
go. Yeah, but
Brian, I got a great idea. What if we dress up as lions and go get zebra cakes?
But we gotta stalk
them. Yeah, of course.
Like look for boxes that are damaged,
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man. So that was my fun adventure. It really wasn't that bad though. I was in and out of Food Town in probably 15 minutes.
That's not bad.
No, really it's not.
Yeah.
And like I said, Kroger, I had to wait about 20 minutes for them to bring the groceries out, but that was it. The only reason I went inside was I had to go pick up my prescriptions. And when I was in there, I was, surveying the land, and I was like, good Lord, these lines are so long.
Yeah.
And I just kind of casually glanced to the back at the meat and different stuff to kind of, get that quick look-see at what they were out of. Oh yeah, Kroger was out of water.
I believe it.
And Food Town, I got 2 24 packs of water, and there was like 3 left. But they don't have a big stock of water there, but still they were nearly out as well. It's like, come on, people, it's 3 days. Like,
dude,
I only got 2.
The world is ending this weekend.
Yeah, I only got 2 because we were almost completely out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have just grabbed one and been like, I'll get another one. I'll leave the other one for somebody who might need it.
You'll never get another one. Because
we're
all going to die.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, we dealt with the shit 2 days in a row. Because it was like, Monday hit, and it was, hey, the storm's coming. We should probably do our grocery shopping. It's like, fuck. It wasn't even like it's just normal ass grocery shopping.
Yeah.
So,
that was where I was too, but unfortunately, we hadn't gone in like a month. Right. So we were out of like everything. Right. Like, I think I told you the other day that I was protein-wise, I was getting down to like corn dogs in the freezer. That was basically where we were. So it was like, oh boy.
And it was like, I was on my way home from work, and I called up Michelle, and I'm like, just be ready. I'm just going to grab you. We're going to go, and the sooner we get there, the sooner we get home. We went to, normally when we go shopping, it's like a Aldi and then Myers situation.
Yeah. Right.
And pulled into Aldi. The parking lot was basically completely full. Like if the building's like a corner, they got carts on both sides. One side was completely out of carts.
Oh wow!
And then it was a fucking shit show in there. Everything was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a shit show. And I got the essentials we needed. We got. So whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's mind blowing is this is not like supply chain issue shit. This is just people being crazy.
Yes.
This reminds me of the way it was shopped for anyone who's not had to deal with like storm buying, whether it's hurricane or snowstorm or whatever, is basically like the way it was at the beginning of the pandemic when like you'd go into the store and everything was gone because people were freaking out.
Exactly. It's like I know earlier.
Even though, like I said, in worst case scenario, 3 to 5 days will be back to complete normal, probably.
Like I know earlier that day, Michelle was looking for salt because we have some, but we need more.
Yeah.
And she went to like Lowe's, and like there's a woman at Lowe's just when people walked in going, "What are you here for?" And then and then nope, we're sold out of this. Like they're sold out of salt. Generators are sold out of.
Sure. Because people are freaking out. Which that I understand, right? Because it's also very cold. So if power does go out, it's going to be a suck show.
When you used to live in the country, when the couple times we lost power up there in the middle of winter, it's not a good time. That really bad ice storm we have. Thank God, my stepdad has a generator because he brought it to my house, and it powered the house enough that it kept it warm.
Yeah.
So, yep. Anywho, but so we went to we did the Aldi thing, and then we went to Meijer, and Aldi was bad. Aldi's small. It was packed. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Meijer,
right?
I felt like I needed to go to war. It was a shit show in there, man.
Yeah, doubt it.
Yeah, there's motherfuckers everywhere. Everyone's walking in front of you and just like cutting you off and choking up aisles.
It's seriously, you'd swear like I said, the best way I can put it is it's seriously similar to like Black Friday shopping. To where somebody's like, "There's only one of this, and I'm getting it."
It was literally horrible. And then we go to check out, and it looked like a mosh pit. There was so many people up there, and the last time I dealt with, I walked in up to the checkout, and I saw all those people. I literally left my cart and walked out of the store.
I've done that too,
but I couldn't do it this time because we had stuff we needed. So
exactly.
All right, so it dealt with that. Whatever, made it through the day. Then Tuesday, yesterday, for all you don't know, I mean we're recording late again.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? My stepdad's in town from South Kakalaki for work, which awesome timing.
Yeah, terrible timing.
Like I was asking him yesterday, I was like, "Why? Are you going to go home or try to beat the storm?" He's like, "Nah, I can't. We're too busy at work." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, that's probably for the best anyway, because it looks like they're canceling everything right now. So
right.
It would have been tough to get out of here unless you're driving.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, I didn't figure so.
But so Michelle he's not going to listen. My aunt has a painting coming to her for my mom, right?
Yeah.
And they got it all framed up nice, and it was done finally. So we had to give the old handoffs instead of shipping it. So we met him for dinner, which is nice. Yeah, but I'm like texting with him, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could meet you at 5." He's like, "Well, how about Bubba's?" And I'm like, "I love Bubba's. It's pretty good."
Yeah,
but it's loud as fuck in there, and it's in the fresh hole of hell of Toledo. That's one of the worst places to drive at that time.
Yeah, it totally is, because you have it always has been horrible, and then they were like, let's pack a bunch of restaurants and businesses
and restaurants right here now.
Yeah, right into this area that's already overwhelmed with traffic. Yeah.
So but actually, and that place is always packed. When we pulled in, parking lot was half empty. The theory we have is everyone was out panic buying.
That's probably true. Yeah.
But had a nice little meal. It was good. Whatever. But then it's like, we're about to leave, and it's like, oh, we still need like ground beef because they didn't have it. We need this, we need that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God, and I'm trying to think of everything that's around there, and I'm like, well, there's Ghetto Kroger. I don't want to go to that one. It's horrible. It doesn't even if it was like a pristine 75-degree day, sunny, that place is a nightmare to go to.
It is. You're 100% right. Yep. Always has been. That's one of the worst store parking lots I've ever been in. It's a nightmare.
So I'm like, I don't want to go there. And I was like, well, we can go to Costco. And I'm like, nope. That was Michelle. Oh, let's go to Costco. And I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, Costco's a shit show on a good day. It's gonna be a nightmare. And I'm like, I don't want to go to like up the road over there to Fresh Time because that's a nightmare too. Just because I don't want to deal with the traffic right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like every place was probably going to be a nightmare, and it's not even one of those where you can be like, let's swing in the old little market or a meat shop because they're going to be cleaned out probably.
And then it hit me. I'm like, you know what? We are right next to Whole Foods, and I'm pretty sure we can cut through this parking lot and go without even getting on Secor.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. Even if you couldn't, I mean, unless you had a lot of shit, you know,
right?
like you can walk.
So we ended up going to Whole Foods, and guess what? It wasn't busy at all.
Really?
I mean, it was probably busier than it has been when I've been in there before, but compared to the everywhere else that I've been that week, wasn't bad. Sure, we overpaid for ground beef.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like, here's the thing. Like, that's my thing with going to Food Town. Everything there is a little bit more than everywhere else, right? But because it's, you know, small store, it's not a big chain. It's just one of, like, I think the people who own that own like 3 or 2 stores, something like that. It's not much.
It's a big chain owned by Amazon.
Yeah, I know. But what I was getting at is it's similar in that, you know, but the idea that you can get in there, get what you need, and get out is worth that extra money sometimes. Like Tuesday, that was worth that extra money. You didn't have to fight and, you know, maybe fist fight.
I mean, we got the ground beef we needed. Yeah, I got, like, when we were at Meijer, I was like, I definitely need snow shovel beer. And I looked at their beer selection, and they just, this is a weird beer rant. They always have the same shit. I'm a man of variety.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The only time they get different stuff is they have whatever the popular beer company seasonal stuff is.
And they do have some different seasonals, but it's like, I walked up and down the beer aisle. I'm like, there's nothing here I want. So, you know, Whole Foods actually has a pretty good beer selection. So I was like, well, let me check it out. And I found some delicious oatmeal stouts from New Holland, haven't had in a while. Like, that would be perfect snow shovel beer. Yeah, yeah, it's just and got a slice of carrot cake from their bakery on the way out for dessert.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the move. Experience. That's a good move.
And then you scan it was brilliant. You know, there's no one there.
Right. See, that's why I was saying it's nice for that sake. You know, at Meijer, I haven't tried. They have the thing at Meijer where you can use their app and scan your groceries and then just pay on your way out.
I've done it twice. Both times I've done it, I've gone to go scan out, and a lady that works at Meijer's comes over and checks all my items to make sure I have everything.
So you might as well just go through a checkout.
What the fuck is the point of me doing this? Yeah, if it was just like, do, and you scan the thing, you pay and you leave, cool. But if you got someone that's got to, like, basically frisk me on the way out.
I mean, I understand it though, right? Because you can just conveniently not scan some stuff. Yeah. You got, like, a big screen in your car.
It's crazy, you know? Like, don't tell her these tomatoes are actually organic. Tee-hee.
Yeah. Yeah, you just scan a non-organic one and then put the organic ones in. Yeah, you know, that's the thing is you really could do shit like that. Like, she's looking, okay, yeah, he's got some beer. You just got, like, you know, you scan Miller Lite, but you got, like, Hop Slam in there.
Bro,
you know,
I got accosted one day at Kroger at a U scan it because I was buying a 12-pack of Topo Chico.
Yeah,
and as I'm like, deek, and I pay, and I'm like walking away from the thing, and the little old lady. Excuse me, you can't walk out with that. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, this is alcoholic, sir, and you never checked your light. I'm like, no, this is sparkling water.
Yeah, Topo Chico does make it hard.
They do now. This is before they made it.
You were fine.
Yeah, I want to punch this old lady in the face. Yeah, and then normally I'm like a monk. I'm a man of peace, Brian.
Also, I'm pretty sure whenever you scan an alcoholic beverage, a thing pops
she
up.
Thought I was just didn't scan anything, and I was just leaving.
You were just going straight steal it
for the groceries, but I was leaving with the quote unquote beer. Yeah, I wanted to kick her old lady knee so hard.
Well, in fairness, you know, that is spicy water, and to her, you know,
right,
those bubbles can be intoxicating.
About to get a spicy belly to belly suplex.
That would have been fun to watch.
Eat her into the Starbucks cart or whatever. Yeah, I was not impressed.
Right, understand.
Like, you dumb bitch.
Yep.
Yeah. So apocalypse shopping's been great.
Yeah, it's always fun. Well, that's why I said it. It stinks that the timing fell the way it did, to where it's like we needed to go to the store anyway. And then, you know, like my mom and I are talking and we're like, yeah, let's go on Monday, which other things happened, which I'll get into in a minute. So, I asked Jen if she could take me, and she goes, yeah, no problem. And we were like, okay, well, let's go Monday. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to get all the snow.
We're all gonna die.
Well, and also, I mean, it's beginning of the month. So, some people are getting monies and they're going shopping too. And that's what really stinks is you had people like us who were going like, hey, we just need to go grocery shopping.
I'm just trying to do my normal routine here, bud.
Yeah, I'm just trying to refill the pantry and fridge. And then you have the people that are like, oh my God, I need everything. Cause my someone I know made a comment that they were like, well, we better get all the snow that they said, because I spent $400 at the store. And it's like, no one forced you to do that.
But guess what? You're stupid.
Like, we were out of everything, basically. And I got pretty much everything we needed, and I didn't spend $400. So I don't know what the hell they were buying, unless they're buying, like, fillets,
Well, we need our snowmageddon lobster tails.
Because I'll tell you, that was one thing I could have bought was some high-end steak, because Food Town still had plenty of high-end steak left. Because everybody's
just
grabbing all the cheap
shit.
Put
a ground beef barcode on there or whatever.
Yeah, right. Too bad it wasn't Meyer. Totally ground beef.
For sure. This is a sliced up pork tenderloin, you dumb bitch.
Right. The old family pack of like T-bones, scanning ground beef. Whoa.
Like, those are tomahawk steaks. But like, yeah, but I'm going to take them home and grind them into beef. So, I got a grinder at home. Duh.
Yeah, obviously.
Sure.
Who's going to eat them this way?
Losers.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That was, it's funny. On a completely unrelated note, I was watching Chopped last night, and one of the episodes, one of the ingredients was rack of lamb.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the women on there was like, she's like, the first thing I did was take the meat off the bone. And I'm like, what, huh? Like, I'm not a lamb guy, right? But I'm like, why would you, if you're given rack of lamb, why are you taking the meat off the bone? She was making, oh shit, I can't think what it's called now. Where you take like meat and you just pound it real thin and then you fry it, basically. Like you bread it and fry it. It's
Sizzler.
God, I can't think of what it's called. Shit.
Really thin steaks.
Like schnitzel? Is that it?
Oh yeah, fucking schnitzel. You got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. And once I saw that, I was like, okay,
Schnitzel. I need to go to Black Forest Cafe stat. Fuck the snow. Get in the Jeep.
All right, let's go. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, she actually, all right, that's that's a plan for it. Because at first I'm like, there's no way they're going to be okay with her like yanking the meat off the bone from a rack of lamb, and because she goes, I'm going to get the meat off the bone and then fry it, and I'm like what
are you doing? She just fries up the bones.
Yeah.
Meat off the bone, throws the meat right in the trash. Well, we don't need this.
Yeah, right. That was kind of the way I saw it, was like as though she's just like taking the bones out and just winging them in the garbage, and like there's no flavor here.
This is trash.
I'm like, what? So yeah. Like I said, once I saw her plan, though, I was like, "Oh, okay, this makes a little more sense." Because you don't see schnitzel very often on Chopped, so it was
all I'm saying. It's
an interesting.
Is the Black Forest Cafe out there in Oregon, Ohio? They got the Jaeger schnitzel.
Jaeger schnitzel, all right.
Schnitzel, of course.
Does it have like a long flowing mullet and play for the Penguins?
I mean,
the old Jaromir Jaeger schnitzel.
But it's a schnitzel, and it's served with mushroom bacon gravy. It's fucking so good.
I'm mad at that.
Good.
All right.
I need some in my life.
My pants just got tighter.
Mine too.
We should probably quit talking because we got a lot of food. We got a lot of food to talk about later. So.
Yeah. So all I could say is, because I want to get to the end of it soon. Because I'm sick of snowmageddon already. Like, I heard about it all day yesterday, all day at work today. Everyone's like, it's still raining. Well, I'm hoping to get sent home early. It's like, just shut the fuck up. They already told us we're not working tomorrow. Just shut your face. Cut that glass.
Right. Meanwhile, like my brother's got to go into work tonight at 11.
That sucks.
And he works until 11 tomorrow morning.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, he's like, boy, I hope I don't get stuck at work.
Yeah, that's what
I was like,
people are joking, like, oh man, we might get snowed in here. I'm like, bro, I will figure it out. I will not be stuck here.
I will walk home.
I will tackle a husky and strap a stop sign to it. Get fucking home.
One way or the other, baby.
No snowstorm's gonna stop this guy.
Like, just see you're on Uber, like trying to find somebody with like a Jeep, you know.
Exactly.
In Toledo, it's like
I know. I'll just hit up the Toledo subreddit and be like, I need a Jeep stat. Who wants to come pick me up?
Yeah.
I also have a Jeep.
Yeah.
I have beers at home. I will give you some.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. Snowmageddon. And I can't wait to wake up and see what it looks like. All I know is tomorrow morning's going to suck. Because I already took some garbage out and I lifted up the lid of the garbage can. It's that wet-ass heavy snow. And I'm not going to be happy shoveling that shit.
The weatherman said that it's supposed to turn, like, as the night goes on, that it's supposed to get, as it gets colder, that it's supposed to turn more like into the fluffy blow everywhere snow.
Exciting.
So hopefully it'll be more of that. So it'll be easy to move.
Either way, I'm not looking forward to it. But whatever, Trevor.
No. Yep. Blowtorch, man. I'm telling you. You got to get a flamethrower. We were
talking about that yesterday at dinner with my stepdad.
Yeah.
Flamethrower would be the way to go.
Although, I mean, this isn't officially one of our news stories, but I did see there was a guy who was trying to clear some snow with one of those and caught his house on fire.
I'm not surprised. He's
Whoopsies.
Like, I'll just, I'll get this edge right here by the bushes.
Yeah, it too. It was something like that. It was just like you should have stopped 5 minutes sooner, probably.
I better clear out the snow by the gas main.
As you do, that's important when using fire.
It'll be fine. It'll be all right.
Whoops.
Sorry, microphone. I just hit you in my watch.
Yeah. So, quick update on what's gone on with me, as I talked about, before. My mom's partner was, going through a whole bunch of stuff. And unfortunately, he passed away this week. And, that's been a real punch in the dick because, isn't the first time this kind of things happened with my mom. And, she's obviously taking it very difficult. They were together for, 12 years, 10 years. Yeah, quite a while, and it, as far as I go, it's like, I'm fine, like I liked him. We got along great. I was close to him and stuff, but it was, it's not, it's not the same as losing like your dad or something like that. But it was, it's still a shame. And the way everything happened was, which I'm not going to get into, but it's just a whole fucking nightmare, basically. So
it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, so I don't wish that kind of stuff on people, but it's one of those where, I don't know. It sucks for his family. It sucks because their mom, she died after having, I think, open heart. There was like complications and she died. So it's like, so it's not really the first time they've gone through this either. It's just, how it is. It's just stinks, and also, just was it a week or two ago, my mom had found out one of her longtime friends passed away also. It's just a real shit show before a snowstorm. But yeah, right. So like I said, it sucked and everything, but it's been cool. The family's calling, making sure she's okay. The snow really sucks because my siblings have been kind of coming over off and on, out with her, and obviously that's going to slow that down a little bit. But yeah. So, but whatever. And she's at the point now, I think she's pretty much told everybody, like she's gone through like phone books of hers and stuff, kind of like, did I forget anybody type stuff. And between that and Facebook, word travels pretty quick. Yeah. So looks like the services are going to be like on Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah. Because why wouldn't you?
Because right. Yeah. I was like, geez. But then on top of that, there's other shit going on too. Like, even though it's been a long time, yesterday was, the anniversary of us losing a friend, which, man, when I saw how many years ago it was, it was 19 years
wild,
ago. And I was like, no way. And then I thought about it. I'm like, man, that's true. Cause he died while we had our shop. Cause he helped us move that wall back, or helped Scott move that wall back and build that new wall. And then remember that door that kept opening. Door. And then that one day I was like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, Spence. And then it never did it again. And, it was fucking weird. But, that was a little somber as well, thinking about that too, which, really sucks because it's also our buddy, his brother's birthday, which, good Lord,
like I chatted with him a little bit yesterday via text, of course. He was doing all right though.
Yeah, I think now he's okay with it. I do remember, obviously early on he didn't want to celebrate his birthday at all, which is understandable, man. I mean, Jesus, that's a rough one. Absolutely. For sure. So, still can close my eyes and remember that night like it was yesterday, though. Just, it's so weird how your brain can do that. It's like you go, man, it doesn't seem like 19 years, but then, like I said, I can close my eyes and bang, I'm right there. Right back to that night. So, it's been a pretty sucky week between the snow, the other stuff, and it's not been a great week.
It's only Wednesday.
I know. Yeah, I've had a hell of a week, and it's only Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, right. Man.
So rich. Yeah. But one thing I will say is that since we've been through this before, there is that element of what's coming, what you got to do to move through things. There's that, which I guess is the comfort in this.
I mean, but because unfortunately we've had to deal with it a couple times now. Losing friends sucks. Especially because I still because it happened during the pandemic. I'm still trying to wrap my head around tea at times.
Oh, for sure.
There's times when it's like we'll go somewhere. I'd be like, man, fucking T would really like this place,
100%.
And then I'm just kind of like sad for half a second, like,
yeah.
Yep.
I'm the same way every once in a while. Either that or I'll see something and be like, oh man, this would be funny to
it just
text him or whatever.
And I still have his like contacts in my favorites and shit.
Oh,
every
too.
Like,
I never.
Yeah, it's just a bummer.
Yep. And that's kind of how I am about losing Jim, is that it feels more like losing a friend than anything to me. Cause like I said, living here, being around him, we get along real well. We watch football together. We watch MMA together, and, and stuff. And he's a good dude. And it sucks, man. It sucks anytime you watch or you can see anybody waste away, and especially you just watch someone lose their vibrancy. It's just, it's awful, So, well, hopefully, it's all up from here for the rest of the year.
I mean, there's only one other direction to go, really.
Right, further into the ground.
Right. Keep on tunneling.
Yep. Son of a bitch. Oh man. But it has been nice though. There's been tons of people that have reached out to my mom through Facebook or phone calls or whatever and stuff. So it's that's always nice when people are checking in and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, my siblings have been great about, do you need anything? Do you need to go anywhere? Do you, whatever it is, they've been helpful through the whole process here. So that's good. And his family's been, really nice to her and stuff too. So it's just sucks. Not much else you can say.
That sums it up perfectly. It just sucks.
Yeah. It's like when I'm talking to you, like when you text me and you're like, how are things going or whatever? It's like, like you know how they're going because you've been through this. You've seen us go through this, but it's like, like my mom said something, somebody asked something and I'm like, it also sucks on the other side because you're like, I want to say something. I want to help. But really almost anything you say or do kind of feels like, like how the hell do you think we feel,
exactly.
Like kind of a thing, right? Even though it's not, it's always appreciated, but it's still like, it sucks that there isn't more people can do, it's just unfortunately be there for you if you need something. And
Yeah.
No, right? Yeah, that's it. That I mean, even me, I'm right here, and that's basically all I can
just
do.
Be an ear if your mom needs it or whatever,
Make sure she's practicing self-care. That's about all you can do in those scenarios. So it's it sucks feeling helpless. It sucks seeing somebody that you love hurt.
For sure.
Oh, especially when it's when it's your mom's or something. It's like as guys who were raised with toxic masculinity, it's like, who the fuck hurt you?
I'll fucking kill
like
him.
I'm a hurt. Yeah. That instinct still rears up in you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But there's no one to go after. It's like, well, all right. Like, I'm frightened and confused. I don't know where to place my anger.
Like, I was just listening to a podcast today with Paul Verzi was on it. It was Bobby Kelly's podcast. He was talking about how, he was like, his son or something started basically calling his daughter like a bitch. And they're both very young kids. And he's like, I had to explain to him, like, are you okay with other people calling your sister that name? Because if you are, if you're calling her that, then you're okay with it. And I'm not okay with it. And then he just starts going off with some Italian rant, Like, like if I ever find out someone calls my daughter a bitch, he's like, I'll throw my career away. I'll murder everyone in the room. Everyone's going to die.
I've heard he does that all the time on, Anything Better with him and Bill Burr. He'll start talking about his family, and when he does, he'll be like, "I'll blah blah blah, and I'll do this, and I'll kill it." And then Bill Burr's like, "No, you wouldn't."
But it's, I mean,
he just.
I'm sure I talked about it on the podcast before, but I understand that feeling because when Logan had his hernia surgery when he was like 3, and they wanted me to go into the room with him, I'm like, okay, I'll be there to comfort him and all that, and I'm looking at him in the eyes as they're gassing him to put him out. And I could see the fear and panic. And that was my first instinct was kill everybody, grab my son, run. That's like what flashed through my head. It was like some lizard brain shit,
It is. It is. It totally
I was just
is.
like, everyone could die,
But it really is, right? Like you go into that protector mode and it's not just a guy thing. Because I know, obviously women. Oh, dude. I've seen my mom go into that mode so many times because of, somebody wronging one of her children. Oh boy, look out. And in this scenario, even with Jim, with some of the stuff at the hospital, dude, when she was able, like once he was out of that COVID unit and they were able to go back up there, like there was steam coming off of her head on her way up there, like the whole time the day she left. And I'm like God help them, because they're going to need it, because she's bringing all the fires of hell with her, rightfully so, because somebody needs to. But
Tombstone. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me.
Exactly. Yep, that's right. So yeah, you see it. It's impressive sometimes when you see it in other people, though, because you're just like, I wouldn't want to be in the way of that locomotive, But then other times, like you said, you kind of take that step back from it. And like, you with Logan, it's like, that wouldn't have really helped anything.
Like, But I totally understand that feeling. That is legitimately the first time in my life I was like, oh yeah, I could kill somebody.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
right, I get it now.
That's there. I just found it. It's there.
Yeah. Right. That's why I said it's, like with me, that's how I am about her is, I do anything in the world to protect her if I could. And unfortunately, like this, you just can't. All you can do is comfort. You can't go out and be a human shield.
You can't punch bad feelings.
As much as as much as I wish I could, Yeah. Like, man. That'd be an awesome X-Men power, wouldn't it? If you could manifest those feelings so someone else could hurt them, basically.
The X-Men is just his name is toxic masculinity.
Like, who wronged you? Like, oh, I'm just having my depression, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah? Well, fuck that depression. Just, work some mumbo jumbo, and then there's just like analogous blob there, and it's just like, what's going on? You should start beating the shit out of it.
Power? Beating the shit out of other people's negative emotions and not crying.
And not crying, yeah.
Now, it wouldn't be beating up other people's negative emotions if it was toxic masculinity. It would
that's
be
true.
absorbing their negative emotions and just bottling it up.
Yeah.
Until eventually you go like
You're
supernova.
Right. So you basically be similar to like Bishop, where he just absorbs energy and then he has to get it out of him or he'll basically explode. Except you just never you explode but
on
it's
like the drywall in your bedroom.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Or at your sports team or whatever.
Yeah. Or the poor barista at Starbucks who, made you an ice cap instead of a hot one.
Oh, that son of a bitch. How dare they?
That's a terrible superpower.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, it'd be great for everyone else, because you could really help some people. But then, until you finally find your match, which is somebody with the mutant power of, like, they convert everything into negative energy. Yes. And they just cripple you, basically. Boy. Of course, you're twins. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Because, classic Wonder Twins activate or whatever.
Yeah. Like, it's the only way the one can stay alive. Basically feed off the other one.
Sense.
Sure.
Let's do this. We're writing this book.
All right. I'm working on it right now.
Excellent.
Nah, that's what it's called.
Excellent?
X.
Oh, X.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like it.
Of course, it has to have an X in the title because X-Men book.
I know, like 10 minutes ago or whatever, I said I want to be done with Snowmageddon. I do have one more.
Mm-hmm. You lying son of a bitch.
I got to talk about the dumb shit my work was doing. And
okay.
So about like 8:30 or so, I'm like, man, I got to take a hot coffee piss.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going for a second there.
And as I, run, leak, wash, I walk out and like our HR person's hanging up a thing above the time clock. So I'm like, oh, what are they doing now? Yeah. And it was, thanks for showing
Tony.
up today. Mm-hmm. We appreciate all your hard work. Enter to win a bag of rock salt. 2 bags will be given away, drawing at noon.
Rock salt?
Are you fucking kidding me? And I just walked away.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if they want to give you a bag of rock salt, that's fine. But
here's my thing. Every quarter we get a safety bonus.
Yeah.
We still haven't got ours for last quarter yet. How about you give us that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, how about you give us what you owe us
and not raffle off 2 bags of rock salt? Assholes.
Would be funny is if you won it and it was rock salt from like the year before, so it's all just one chunk. Yeah, that you just cannot separate for whatever reason. You're just like, what the?
Yeah,
what do I do with
I've spiked those bags on driveways attempting to bust it up.
Dude, I've got 2 sitting on my porch. Well, not this porch, but the other porch. We have like 2 sitting out there. I don't have any clue how. Is there any way to fix that?
I would assume violence, much like negative emotions.
I've tried. I mean, I went at one with a hammer one time, and all it seemed to do was pack the salt together
I have
more.
No idea then.
Yeah. I mean, it was great for my emotion.
Maybe
though,
cut the bag open where you want to spread it, and then assault it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because the only other thing I was thinking would be like a pickaxe.
Yeah, right? Wow, that's a good time right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we just have 2 bags sitting on the porch now that are completely useless as far as I know.
I mean, there's got to be a way.
I would think so. I haven't bothered to look online.
I guess on a lighter note, the cops were at my neighbor's house today.
That's cool. Yeah.
We're sitting there watching Mandalorian. Jesus Christ. We're sitting there watching Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
And you just start hearing fucking screaming. Apparently the lady, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. It's a house of horrors. She also went outside to let her dog in or out or do something. And whoever was in the house locked her out. And she's just pounding. And, their door's like 10 feet from our living room window. just pounding and screaming, and I can't wait to get out of a neighborhood, Brian.
Wow, that sounds like a great time.
All of a sudden, there's all these like bright ass lights, and it's like, what the fuck's going on out there? And look, cop car. I'm like, no. When half the neighborhood's outside playing in the snow, and there's like one woman freaking the fuck out. I'm not surprised.
Right. No,
like,
I wouldn't think so.
I was starting to hit the point where I was like, do I need to like open the window and be like, do you need help? Or do you need me to call something? Like, what's going on here?
That's not where I thought you were going to go. I figured you'd be like, do I, like I was so close to opening the window and being like,
you shut the fuck up. I'm trying to see what Boba Fett's doing.
Yeah. You're ruining my immersive sound experience with
my sound bar is tiny.
Yeah. I'm watching my stories.
Lady, break up with him. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, that's too bad.
I know. It sucks. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if she's a nice woman or not. I've never really talked to her that much.
Yeah.
But I could do without all the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said, it doesn't help that your houses are like literally right next to each other. There's not a lot of space between.
Like basically, if I want to like weed whack my side yard over there, I'm pretty much just in her driveway. Yeah.
Yeah, you could pee in their window from your porch.
Start.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Shoot for distance.
Yeah,
it's pretty annoying.
It's
like I just I don't mind the weird drama I get from my other neighbors, because that drama is like, oh, we're just partying, we're being like way too old to be doing this stuff. Whatever, I don't care about that.
Yeah,
it's the screaming and the drama you hear at least once every couple weeks. It's really the worst. I can't wait to move.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little while, though.
Yeah.
God, it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was summertime and the windows are open, I might have just started jamming like, bad boys, what you gonna do? That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have loved that.
But yeah, so you're not caught up on Book of Boba Fett?
I have not watched the newest episode. No, because I've kind of lost track of what day it was, so I didn't even think about it being up last night, or I would have watched it. But
Book of Boba Fett, aka Mandalorian season 2, episode 1.
Right, season 3.
You're right. Season 3, episode 1.
Yeah, that was quite the surprise.
I was like, this whole episode is just like, because Michelle, truth be told, Michelle's not a fan of Book of Boba Fett. She's like, it's boring. I don't know what's good. I don't like it.
She's not wrong. It's not great. I don't think it's great. It's got some moments.
And like when you watch the next episode, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm telling you. So
okay,
but so she was out in the kitchen. I'm like, do you mind if I start this? She's like, no, I seriously don't care. And I'm like, all right. And I start the episode, and I just see through that like plastic sheeting the outline. I'm like, oh fuck, that's Mando. So I had to pause it because she loves the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right. It's exactly what she said when the episode ended. She was like, that was great that we got to watch an episode of the Mandalorian.
Yeah. That was a little weird to me because it's like there's only 7 episodes of this show, and one of them literally doesn't have Boba Fett in it. It was like, okay, like I get it because obviously at the end, the story finally shows us why we need it. And, I appreciate them kind of giving us the little, hey, here's what Mando's been up to, basically, to bridge everything together. But it's also really weird that as of the episode I've seen, like in the flashback sequences, they didn't bring us back to him getting his armor. I was wondering if they would. But they didn't. They brought us back to like near that point, and then it's like, well, we watched The Mandalorian, so how he ended up with it.
Back.
Yeah, but I saw a couple people online. Well, more than a couple. I saw articles and different stuff that were kind of like, why did he go back to the Sarlacc pit for his armor when he came out of the pit with the armor? And when you go back and because I was like, yeah, they're right. He has the armor. In fact, he uses the armor to get out.
Could say is because he was all like being dissolved and digested. Is maybe he was just like not in the right state of mind.
Yeah. Also, he's like beat to shit by the
the Sarlacc,
the Tusken Raiders, and well, no, I mean like when the Tusken Raiders,
that's right.
they don't
did basically, torture the shit out of him for a while.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of like, okay, well, clearly he doesn't know that, Jawas or something probably stole all this armor in the meantime. The other thing I have a question about, and I don't know if the new episodes or how they'll do going forward with this, is the concept of Mando having a one-person, basically, vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if he's a bounty hunter, he needs somewhere to put his bounty.
I mean, he doesn't need all the bounty.
True, he just needs the head. I guess that would fit in the droid pit or whatever.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too, because I was like, in his
also, he has no living quarters in the thing like he did in.
So fast, he'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, whatever, I'm just gonna zip over to the next fucking, Red Roof Inn.
Best Western. Yeah. It'd be so funny if that's what the next episode they show that and he's going to a Motel 6 or whatever.
His key card won't work. He's got to go back to the maitre d'.
Yeah,
maitre d'. That's a restaurant. Fuck.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a Red Roof Inn or whatever. They don't have maitre d's. They have
no.
Phil, who got laid off from his real job.
It's funny though because some of those hotels are the types that how there's a lot of them that they'll try to pretend they're fancier than they are. So I could see one of them trying to be like, oh, hi, I'm whoever, or I'm Phil, your concierge. And it's like, buddy, we both know you're just the front desk guy. Like, you're not a concierge.
Sleep in, INN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How long's that coffee been in that pot? 8 years. I knew it.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Just the way I like it. Thick. I like that my coffee the way I like my women, dark and thick.
Yeah, you'll when you watch the next or the latest episode though, trust me, because like throughout the episode I was like, oh shit, and then I was like, is that?
I've heard.
Oh shit.
And it makes sense because again, I believe there's only 7 episodes, so that's episode 6. So there's only one more episode of it. Yeah.
And then it'll be Mando season 3. I assume.
Eventually.
I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what
the Star Wars show coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That should be.
Yeah.
I hope it better be. Darn it.
Yeah, I made a purchase, Brian, because I'm bargain Billy and it was on sale. So like a week ago, I baked some bread because I used to bake bread all the time. Yeah,
you did.
I was like, I'm gonna do this again, and it was all right. I've had better, but it was enough that I'm like, you know what? Let me look around on the internet real quick, and I found myself a bread machine for good price.
Oh boy!
Right.
All right.
So I got it 2 days ago. Got it 2 days ago, and I'm like, all right, let's. I've never used one, never seen one used.
My nephew gave me one at one point, and I never made any bread in the thing. I had it for like a year, and I gave it back to him.
That's awesome. Like, look what I got you.
I don't even know what. Dude, I'm not kidding you. I see so many of those things at thrift stores because people get them and they never use them. So many of them too. I always look inside just for shits, and they always look brand new inside. Every once in a while, you'll see one that's like, oh, this one actually was used. Almost all of them look like you could have just pulled them right out of the box.
Went to the thrift store. I probably got it even cheaper.
Maybe.
But so I'm like, all right. I got a day one. I'm like, I'm going to make bread. Yeah, it has a recipe book. I'm going to follow that. Did everything. And it's got like this plastic window on top so you can watch. And it's got like a little paddle inside. It's like kneading and all that. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I'm just watching it. And like all this shit sticking to the sides. Like I said, I've made bread before. I'm like, it's supposed to make a dough ball. It's not making a dough ball. So I like open up the lid and it still keeps going. I'm like, have a spatula and I'm scraping the sides down. But it's still like this really shaggy, messy dough.
Were you like, out of curiosity, are you supposed to like, wipe it down with like Earl or butter or a spray or something to make sure it doesn't stick?
Because it's got a non-stick coating on it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I don't know. It's like I said, shaggy ass dough, and it's still like kneading, and then it just stops. And I'm looking, I'm like, bro, this is not a dough ball. It should be a dough ball that's rising now. This is not a dough ball, right? So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I unplugged it. And I like scraped the sides down. And I restarted the cycle. Added a little water because, shaggy dough is kind of dry. It became a dough ball. Right. I let the thing roll. It's like a 3-hour process to do this.
Yeah.
So it goes back to kneading, makes a dough ball, and I'm looking, I'm like, I'm satisfied. I go sit on the couch and we're doing whatever. I think I was playing some Battlefield, the game everyone fucking hates apparently. And then I hear the machine start up again. It was going through a secondary kneading phase. Dude, I fucked up my first loaf of bread by over kneading it.
So by you stopping
restarting it, I fucked it up.
So the first time it goes through, it's not going to be the pretty dough ball. The second time it makes
and it came out. Well, because I flipped through it doesn't tell you anything about the phases. So I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, why would it?
Yeah.
Right?
Why? Yeah. I kind of want to know, like, I want it broke down like a card game. I want to see the phases.
Well, also, like, just tell you, like, hey, it's not going to look like you think it should after the first one. Let it go through the second ones. Yeah.
So and by the time it, because I restarted it, I'm like, I'm going to wake up the bread because I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Wake up next day and I look in there and I'm like, fuck, that's a loaf of bread in there. Fucking dope. And I like shake it out and it comes out. And it's got a weird, like, it almost looks like it has a butthole because of where the paddle is. That's pretty hot. Yeah. But I carve a piece off. I slap butter on it. And I'm like.
By the way, I got to say, you got to get yourself some Nutella and have some fun with someone, at least one.
Yes. You are correct.
Yeah.
But I slap like butter on it and I take that first bite and it was so dry and tough. And I knew immediately when I took that bite, I'm like, you done fucked up. I started over again. So
yeah, you made croutons is what you made.
I made a sandwich out of it for my lunch. And I mean, I choked it down, literally choked it down. But so I'm tomorrow I'm gonna do a recipe off the internet because fuck the recipe book.
Yeah, that is one thing I did do when I had that one in my possession was I looked and I was like, oh, there's a lot of like people that are like, fuck those recipes, do these.
So I'm gonna find a recipe online. I'm gonna try again. I'm just gonna let it roll. I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna put the ingredients in. I'm gonna walk away.
Right.
And hopefully it works because I do like fresh bread. Fresh bread is way better than store bought.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm hoping it works out and I can dial it in because, dude, if I could have like,
was it just like a basic loaf of bread that you were doing, or was it anything?
Bitch white bread.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It, like that bread came out with Uggs and a Starbucks coffee.
It was dry shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I fucked up though.
Well, that's
live and learn. I've never used one before, so I didn't know. Yeah.
Right.
And like, dude, and if it was like kneading and then resting and then if it told me, I'd be like, okay. But it's just a countdown
like if it had
timer. That's all it is.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if it showed you phases. Like you had a little like you said, a little countdown kind of thing. There was like. Goes from step 1 to step 6 and you're like, oh, it's part way done. Okay.
Although the thing I do like about it is it can also like prep dough, so I can make pizza dough in it. That's cool.
Right. Yeah. The one that my nephew had, in the book it actually had other types of dough that you could do in it, like pretzel dough and pizza dough and stuff.
It's got like 12 different settings. You know how appliances are. It's like, oh, do you want French bread? And it's like, I don't know what makes it French bread as opposed to basic what.
You tongue kiss it. You tongue kiss the buttholes.
Oh, perfect. Nice.
Oh, wait, sorry. That's the Australian one.
But, I don't know. I guess I'll have a bread update. Maybe I'll put it on TikTok because for some reason my will this corn on the cob air fried I put up like a year ago is really getting traction. But there's a lot of food stuff on TikTok, so I'm not too terribly surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you start making anything fancy.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Because honestly, the thing I wanted to use it the most for was like banana bread. Because, you know, there were a lot of times we buy bananas and, you know, all you need is like 2 bananas to make banana bread. So a lot of times when I would buy bananas, I'd buy like, you know, a larger group of them and then just take 2 and set them aside basically. And like, those are for you know, nanner bread. Like, yeah, basically, you know, and because I'll tell you, I've made banana bread, you know, via recipe and tried it in the oven multiple times, and like what 4 times now. I got a decent loaf once. The others either didn't cook right, like cook enough, or it cooked too much, or it cooked uneven. You know, and I think a lot of it had to do with the oven I had, because the oven I had was a terrible, like it didn't heat evenly, basically. So I think that was the culprit, but I just haven't bothered since. Because, like, you know, I've got like a toaster oven that has a bake setting, so I could just put it in there, because that's, you know, or I could try to air fry a loaf of banana bread.
If you do that, I need you to make like a video about it.
That would be funny.
Will it air fry?
Yeah.
I mean, I've air fried cinnamon rolls and they were fucking awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah.
I've had myself a lot of cigars the past like week and a half. More than normal, not a lot, but like I met, you know, our buddy Steve and I had a cigar at Casa over on Monroe Street. And dude, when we walked in, I saw there's all these cars parked on the curbside towards the Red Lobster right there. I'm like, man, all those Red Lobster employees are over here. That's really stupid. Nah, this cigar place is fucking packed. Like, I've never walked in, and like it has a first room you walk in. Have you been in that lounge?
Yeah, I've been in there a couple times.
So that first lounge,
that was you and Steve, but you, me, Don, and Jeremy.
Fair enough.
And T.
Yeah, that first lounge you walk into, that was completely full. So we had to go back into the second one, and at first it was just him and I back there, but then other guys started filtering back. And like it was a 1 drink, 1 cigar. It's way too smoky in here. I gotta go. Like it was like burning my eyes. It was so bad. I've never seen it that packed. It was weird.
Because like the 2 times I've been there, we were in that first lounge, and we were like pretty much the only people in there.
Like 1 or 2 guys in there sometimes. It was crazy.
Yeah, wow.
And then I had a porch cigar on Sunday, because it just sounded good. I cracked the windows, had a heater out there. I was watching a football game from my front window.
Oh, yeah, I saw your picture of that,
I'm like, dude, this is nice. And then like, I walk inside, Michelle's like, it kind of smells smoky in here. I'm like, oh. She's like, I don't mind the smell of cigar smoke.
You're like, shut your trap. No.
Toxic masculinity.
You just broke down and started crying.
I mean,
why do you criticize everything I do? Yeah.
But that was a nice time. And then yesterday I took the dog for walks. It was like 40 degrees out, and I had one when I was walking the dog.
Right, you and Bomber both had one,
exactly. Sure. And now our old buddy Brian Smith.
Yeah.
Him and I were chatting on Facebook, because I put up that picture of the whiskey I was going to drink with my cigar. And he's like, oh man, it makes you want to go. And I'm like, dude, anytime you want cigars, you just let me know. And oddly enough, he's good friends with a guy I used to work with. So like the 3 of us are going to go next week. I mean, Brian, if you're more than welcome to come along if you want. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, next Wednesday we're going.
I don't know why you're making plans after this.
Oh, week. You're right. We're all going to be entombed in snow.
Yeah. We'll never emerge.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's been a lot of... And you know what I almost bought over the weekend because of Steve? An ice fishing shanty.
No, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that.
Not to ice fish, to smoke cigars in.
Oh, okay. Now, see, that I can get on board for that.
I don't care about ice fishing, because him and I were talking that night. We went out, and he's like, I'm part of the cigar group online. And he sent me an invite. Of course, I joined your stupid forum. But he's like, this guy in the forum, he's like, he made me. He didn't make it, but the idea. He's like, I bought this pop up ice fishing shanty for like, $130 or something. He said. And you just pop a little electric heater in it, and it gets really warm in there. And it's like, I was thinking, I'm like,
there's your answer for outside.
Like, So I hop online. I go to Walmart because dirt ass cheap. All the shanties are like clearanced out right now. I was like, dude, I can get one for $80. And I had it in my cart. And then I'm like, you're an idiot. You have a porch. But I don't want the smoky smell really, getting in the house.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want to spend $80 on fucking something I'll use like 3 times in the winter. So I canceled out my order, but I almost pulled the trigger on the ice fishing shanty.
All right. See, I can see that, but for 2 reasons. One would be also when it's nice out, you could sit in that if it's a little rainy as well. Sure. So you could still go outside and enjoy a stick if you wanted to.
That vent and stuff.
I guess realistically, I know you could just sit in your garage.
When it gets warm out, if it's raining, I'll be in my garage. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I guess. All right. Never mind. I was trying to help you out.
I don't need
got
it.
Nothing.
It made me think of it because I saved the link in my notes here on my Apple Notes, and I'm like, I gotta delete that because if I keep looking at it, I'll be like, maybe I do need that.
Did you look for one on Wish?
You know what? I didn't, but I'm going to right now.
It's like $14. It's just crepe paper.
Creepy paper.
Creepy paper, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go to Wish, Brian, and see what's up. I haven't been on Wish in a long time.
Oh, I try my best to
just
stay away from.
I can get an $800 watch right now for $19.
Oh, hell, orders both
a bargain, man. All right, what am I looking for? Ice fishing. There's no gear rod. Oops, I can't type. Thank you, Apple. Oh, here you go. Shelters. We'll go with that. Oh, tent. There you go. Let's see here. Survey says, wow, basically the same one that I almost could have bought. They claim it was $450. It's $150 on Wish. Bro, you go to Wish, you're getting ripped off. They don't know how to do ice fishing shanties in China. It's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all brands that I actually looked at, and they're way overpriced.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. That would have been so hilarious if you would have gone on there and one was like $20.
Seriously, how bizarre. Yeah. I was honestly expecting dirt ass cheap shit, and it's like the same prices.
At least one.
If not more.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm here. I got to click pop it real quick. Let's see here. Oh, a belt that looks like 9mm film. Sick.
Ooh. How many times have you heard me say?
Fuck are these? I seriously don't know what they are. Oh, it's over here because my window's not wide enough. Vintage brass mini spoon, shovel, medicine spoon for bullet sniff, bottle sorter, tool, key, chain, ear pick, cleaning tool, smoking accessory, wax tool.
Wait, ear pick?
Apparently. Maybe this is what the kids are doing dabs with.
Oh my goodness. Maybe.
Man, Wish you and I could just do a show all about Wish someday.
We should.
If only you could see my screen. I know. Oh my God, dude, they're selling crack pipes. Are you kidding me? These are legitimately crack pipes, and they're free.
Are they calling them anything else?
What are they calling them? 105mm clear glass tube, oil nail glass, oil burner, thick glass, oil burner tubes. Free.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What are the reviews? Was perfect. Just what I wanted. Great item. 2 out of 5 broken. Scott, 3 stars. Good job, Scott.
Yeah. Well, finally, because they don't let the gas stations sell those roses in glass tubes anymore. So
crack pipes. Hold on, Brian.
I'll never forget when I first found that out. Like when a buddy of mine used to work at a gas station, and
share my screen with you.
We talked about that, about how they weren't allowed to sell those anymore. And I was like, why? And he's like, you don't know? And I was like, no. And he's like, people buy them and they just throw the rose away. He's like, they're crack pipes. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, that's the only reason gas stations sell them.
Here, look at this. I'm about to share my screen with you so you can see this shit.
All right.
Those are fucking crack pipes.
I mean, they're free, too.
I know, free.
Perfect price.
Oh, we get different sizes.
We should get some.
No, we can't. No,
Oh, oh no,
it's a lie. I'll add it to my wish list. Oh my god, fucking Wish.
Wouldn't it be funny if Wish called their wish list something else?
That would be fun. Actually, you know what? Someday, Brian, I'm just gonna screen share you, and then we're just gonna go down some sort of Wish rabbit hole.
I like it.
Like purely for the YouTubes, because Yeah, that'd be a fun time.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Fucking crack pipes on Wish. Are you kidding me right now? I got to get away from the screen, or the FBI's gonna be after me.
Yeah, I was saying, otherwise you're gonna have a bunch of crack pipes.
I only ordered 2 packs of them.
Right. Like finally, we have something we can give away.
Like I'm not 100% familiar of how dabbing works. Not like whatever the kids do, not that. But the crack of the weed world, the dabs. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, but I bet you can use those, because I know it involves blow torches and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to bet that those crack pipes are dab pipes as well. Or if you go into a local tobacco shop with the glass pipes for tobacco use only. Yeah, okay.
Of course. Wink.
Winky wink.
Yeah.
Wow. That was fun. I can't believe they didn't have tents on Wish, though. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a little disappointing. Yeah. Well, they had them. They just didn't have a good price on them.
The prices are terrible. I guess they don't know how to ice fish overseas there.
That's not. That's pretty disappointing.
Canadian American thing. I was Russia, though. You think they'd?
I guess
in Russia, ice fish you.
In Russia, they just don't use the tents. They don't need.
You're probably right.
They're just like, whatever.
They
this
just
isn't
get
that
in
bad.
The water. Like, this is fine.
Yeah. In their underwear. Yeah. Yeah. And they just catch the fish with their teeth. Yeah.
On the ends of their dicks, those teeth.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like the alien queen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucking
Yikes.
Terrifying, bro.
Yikes.
I got to pull up my list of things we got here again.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say, because I got a few things.
I have some links, but I do have one more thing that I just kind of noticed. So I was watching football Sunday, which, by the way, we totally forgot to do our playoff dude mountain.
100%. I thought about that too.
Yeah, sorry, everyone who probably didn't want to get involved anyway. So I'm watching football, and some dude got popped, and I just had this flashback to like when we were teens and all that. Do you remember, Brian, when it was like, Sports Illustrated presents the biggest hits in the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
It was, and in hindsight, it's like, watch 42 guys get concussed.
Yeah, right. Or ESPN used to have that jacked up segment every week when someone would get destroyed. Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Yep. No, they sure don't, because they've now realized, like you said, it's like, oh shit, that might be someone getting a concussion.
Oh,
like
100%. We watch people get brain damage, and we pointed and laughed because those are great to watch.
Yeah, I've said it for a few years like that in MMA. It's the hardest thing for me about watching them is I know those guys are getting brain damage, and it's like it's like I don't want to support that, but also I do because I enjoy watching the sport, but I don't know. Yeah. Not enough, I guess, to quit watching it.
I love watching it, but fuck them brains. Entertain me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Well, I think a lot of us, you always hide behind they know what they're getting into. And it's like, yeah, but for a long time they didn't, especially football players. They didn't realize what they were getting into. Sure. Yeah, they knew. Like I said, I remember Mike Golick, who was on ESPN radio and all that for a long time. He used to play for like the Eagles, and he talked about how when they would get their air quote bell rung, he's like they just hand us a fistful of aspirin basically and say get back in the game.
Suck it up, pussy.
Like,
toxic masculinity.
And then of course there's the football thought of you don't want to come out because somebody else might take your job.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you just
suck it up, buttercup.
It's such a terrible thing. Meanwhile, now if they think a guy has a concussion, they completely pull him out of the, those independent doctors can say, hey, he comes out of the game, and the teams can't argue it. They have to pull the guy out of the game, which is good, because hopefully that means that they'll not, like I don't know if you remember years ago, like Brett Favre had a concussion, and he finished the drive, threw a touchdown, didn't realize he had a concussion until one of his teammates like smacked him on the helmet after the touchdown, and he was kind of like, whoa, like everything went swirly on him when it happened, and it's like it sounds funny hearing the story, but it's like, man, he should have never been out there.
If he would have got hit again,
it could have been bad, or he might not have been able to protect himself, or like there's a lot of reasons.
He wouldn't have a chance to chickadee check himself before he riggedy wrecked himself.
Oh God, I remember there was a game. I don't remember, it was a lineman for the Chargers that got crushed on the hit, and he got up and he just started wobbling and fell down, and then went to get up again and wobbled and fell down, and then finally, when the trainers and stuff got out there, of course they were like, you can't stay out here, and he's trying to like fight them off, like, I'm not coming out, and they're like, dude, you can't stand, let alone block. Like, not only are you gonna in a bad way, but you're going to get someone killed because you're, on the blind side or something,
Stand in Bullock's couch.
Yes, of course. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I think, are you talking about Deebo Samuel?
I don't got hit. I was just like, ooh,
Yeah. There was a play where he got hit.
Yeah, I just watched someone get popped, and then I immediately had all these commercials, and it was like, I don't have the music on our sound pad right now, but when it was like, on the frozen tundra of fucking Lambeau, this motherfucker's head got rocked.
Yeah. Well, the Joe Theismann hit will be on every one of those, where Lawrence Taylor destroys his leg. Yeah. Where as soon as he hits him, Lawrence Taylor immediately turns and looks to the sideline and is like, "Oh shit, get over here!" Bro,
I just turned this guy's leg into a fruit roll up.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. So, exactly.
Yeah, nothing like watching someone slow-mo with like grass and grit flying in the air just get devastated, and you're like, yeah, it was great. I remember that.
Then they like rewind it and show it for exactly, from 14 different angles.
And then it's like the people talking about it. Ah, yeah, man, I heard his cartilage snap as I hit him.
Yeah, and it's funny because like that's a real thing from that play. Like guys heard it. It's how bad it was. Or Alex Smith a couple of years ago when he had that horrific broken leg. It was the same thing. Remember guys saying that they could hear it. I was like, like can't imagine being out there and hearing that. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, all right, everybody line up and let's keep playing the feet ball.
We got people to entertain.
Yeah. You just watch that guy literally, like lose his leg, but hey, let's get back out there.
Am I right, guys?
Next man up. Yeah.
You know what that means? Job opportunities. Let's roll. Let's go.
God, the sad part is you're not wrong. I mean, that really is it's the necessity of the sport by playing, by continuing to play, though, is literally someone's got to go fill that spot.
Moving on up.
Can you imagine being the guy who's got to go take Joe Theismann's spot after Lawrence Taylor wrecks him, and Lawrence Taylor's still on the field?
You're not wrong.
I'd be like, "Oh, coach, I just got diarrhea real bad. I gotta go to the locker room."
It's crazy, y'all. I just shit my pants. No, you didn't. They just like,
yeah.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, I can feel it coming.
Yeah.
Of all the days to be constipated. Okay. Yeah. No thanks.
Right.
Oh man. Yep. But man, what a crazy weekend of playoff games for the second week in a row. Just games coming down to the last minute. And
I know, right?
How about them Bengals? I remember halfway through the season making a comment about how I wouldn't want to play the Bengals. I'm like, they may not be that good, but I'm like, they're such a tough out because of Burrow, and their defense steps up at times, and here we are, and now they're in the Super Bowl. That's nuts.
The way that game started, I was like, oof, this is gonna be a trouncing, and I spent a good half hour or more, like getting audio from a YouTube video, making this TikTok. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking hilarious. And then I couldn't put it up
because they ended up playing pretty well in the second half. Yeah,
it was like one of those things where there was a sound I thought of that wasn't on there, and I had to do all kinds of dumb shit. And I figured it out, and then I couldn't even put it up for the world to see.
All that work 100%. For nothing.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll give it away. I was gonna have what's the tight end for the fucking Chiefs to do with the beard? Yeah,
Calzony.
I was gonna have him. And there's this filter on TikTok where you could put your eyes and your mouth over anything.
Oh yeah.
And I was just gonna lip sync over from the Karate Kid when the guy's like, "Johnny, he's had enough," and then I was gonna cut. Wow, why can't I think of the quarterback's name now? Yes, Mahomes. Jesus, I could see his head. I was gonna cut the Mahomes going, "I'll decide where he's at." I'm like, this is gonna be hilarious, and then I couldn't put it up.
Last week it would have been hilarious too, you know. But
I was too late though.
What are you gonna do?
That's all right. I deleted it. I saved the sound though.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea because I'm sure it'll be useful.
I'm hoping for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And like I told you, I don't know who to root for because I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of adopted the Bengals as a second team
of Hobie?
This year. No, I've just kind of had fun watching them because I just love like the swagger of Joe Burrow. I mean, have you seen him in like his where he looks like a Bond villain with his sunglasses and shit? It's just there's something about that dude that I just enjoy. I love how he's in his like second year and he's out there playing like he's a 15-year vet. Like he doesn't give a fuck what the score is. He's going out there to play, and so I've just kind of enjoyed watching them. Also, in that division, I hate the Ravens. I hate the Steelers. Not the biggest Browns fan, so I kind of am rooting for them anyway.
Somebody. Although I don't know if, I mean, that Rams, defense, that kind of weak-ass O-line.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
I know. No, I understand. Well, that's what I was getting at. Like I told you, I said I'm having a little trouble because, even though I know Stafford's not on my team anymore. I want to see him
get a ring, though.
I kind of do because it's like there's no way in hell he was ever going to get one in Detroit. And the whole time he was in Detroit, I was like, look, this dude is like, he's not an elite quarterback, but he's a very good quarterback, And every time people in Detroit were like, "No, Stafford," and I'm like, who do you want instead? Like the dude puts up like top 5 numbers almost every year. Who do you want instead? I mean, yeah, you'd love Mahomes, Rodgers. Okay, fine. I can give you those. But there aren't that many quarterbacks I would have taken over those same years over him. It's like, I feel like you're,
and he played
like
in Detroit
forgetting
a long time.
12 years.
I was like, he was there a long time.
3 playoff games, each one of them, they were basically like the, barely made the playoffs team. So they played against a top seed or whatever. And it's like, they just, and you know how it is. It's like the whole time I've been a Detroit fan, there's only been like 3 years they had any sort of a decent defense, really, and it's like, it just wasn't there. And now at least the Rams have like that gives him something he's never played with, which is a defense that can actually go do something.
Right. Exactly. Stop the ball.
So,
even.
I mean, yeah, because like on offense, I mean, he had Calvin Johnson for a bunch of years. So it's like, Cooper Kupp is crazy good, but Calvin Johnson's a Hall of Famer. So it's not like he was some slouch, Calvin Johnson was a freak out there. So, it's one of those things, that he's had really good offenses. He's never had a running game either, which the Rams do have a little bit of a running game. So, that's, but anyway, like I said, I'm not really sure. I mean, the first thing I'll always root for is the same thing I root for in every Super Bowl, which is not a blowout.
A good ass game would be fun.
A good game. Like the way the games have been the last few weeks, dude, that would be amazing if it came down to final drive.
Yeah, I know,
love
right?
It,
it's been crazy lately.
Like, this is what you want as a fan where your team's not in the game.
Yes.
Right? Like, if you're going to keep watching, you want games to be close. So
games.
At least, So I've enjoyed it. But, I mean, I've had kind of a favorite in most of the games. but it's still one of those that, like, if the team, I'm like, oh man, I hope they win. If they didn't, like, at any point, if the Bengals had lost, I'd be like, dude, they weren't even picked to win their division this year. Not only they win the division, but they got as far as they got. Yeah. So even this, if they lose, it'll be a disappointment, but they severely overachieved this season. 100%. Especially when you think about that receiver Chase on their team. In the preseason, the kid couldn't catch anything. And then as the season progressed, he was catching everything. Yes. No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The one thing that slipped through his hands. The COVID. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. You know what's not amazing? I'm sure you saw this because there's been a whole kerfuffle over it.
I'm sure I saw it, but I don't recall. How about that?
Well, as you see, like, there's a Tennessee school that banned
yes, I
mouse.
See that.
Yeah. And what I don't understand about this is I don't know. Like, the reasons behind it are because it's, it's got nudity in it and it's violent in times. But, I mean, it's literally a story about the Holocaust. And the nudity in it is necessary because it basically shows how the Nazis would strip the Jews and give them nothing, and keep them cold and keep them, it's important to the story.
100%.
And it's not supposed to be a cuddly, fluffy book. The only way that the book has any sort of kid glove is that they're cats and mice.
It's animals. It's what do they call it?
Fuck. It's I don't remember.
Animorphs.
It's animorphs. Yeah. Anthropomorphic, or God, I can't say it. Anyway.
Yeah, we both know the word. We just can't speak. We're not English.
But I'm going to say this to anyone who's listening: if you have not read these books, because there's two of them, or one if you buy like the the bigger version, do yourself a favor and go read these. It's heavy. It's a punch in the gut, but it is one of the best uses of the medium that there's ever been.
100%. I pulled up Google Images for our YouTube watchers, and that is the book right there I have. I don't have the big version, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do. I don't have the single versions anymore because I gave them to a friend of ours because she and her husband had never read them before. And I'm like, well, you're in luck. I have extra copies. Happy birthday, basically. Yeah. Because I have the, whatever it's called, the large version. So, yeah. Thank you. But I saw there's a comic shop. I forgot where it's at. If it's in Tennessee or somewhere else, where the guy is like shipping copies of
that
mouse.
Link. Yeah, it's let's see here. I'm gonna give this. Oh, God damn it! Get out of here, pop-ups. I want to give this guy a shout out.
Yeah, please include that link in the stuff for me because I don't have it.
Comic store owner Ryan Higgins is Teenager Red Mouse. Okay, I want to give his. I'm hoping for his. Oh, there you go. Comics Conspiracy in Sunnydale, California. He's going to ship anyone within that district a copy of Mouse.
Yeah, so it's not anywhere in the country; it's anywhere in that district. But, I love. There's a quote that people have been sharing around from Stephen King, and I'm not going to get the quote exact, so I'm not even going to try. But basically, he says that what should happen is if you're in these areas and a book gets banned, seek out the book and read the book and find out what it is they don't want you to
keeping from you.
Right. And because this isn't a book that's being banned or kept away because of disinformation or whatever else. This is straight up because I don't know. The reasons that they gave are bullshit. Yeah. Because I read this book at probably, God, what were we? We're probably 15? 14 when we read this book, probably. And I did not feel like this book was over my head or unnecessary or whatever, because literally, and especially not now, I can turn on the TV at 8:00 at night and see way worse stuff going on. And I'm sorry, but this is an important piece of history, and this should not be thrown away.
I agree.
So, yeah. But did you see the vote in that district was 10-0 to ban it?
I don't understand people.
This book has won all sorts of awards. It's used in college level classes. And again, it's not, and kids in high school can process this.
100%.
I can understand. Okay, listen, if this was for like elementary schools, I could see, okay, it's a little heavy. It's a little too adult maybe for children. But the biggest thing is they aren't going to be able to process the stories as well. But if you're a teenager,
tomorrow, because obviously I've got a snow day and Leah's got a snow day, she's going to come hang out and stay tonight, have an extra day with me for the weekend. And the school she's in right now, she's in a class called Current Events, where they just talk about current events, and it's like a debate class almost. I want to know if they talked about this.
That's interesting. When I was in freshman year English, the teacher I had, every Friday we put our desks in like a circle, and we did that every Friday, where we would talk. She would have a couple things, and then she would allow us to bring up stuff. And obviously, there's a few things that she didn't let us get into, but for the most part, we were allowed to discuss kind of anything. As long as it was a civil discussion, couldn't be any name calling or desk throwing or anything.
Right. But I gotta do that stuff. Remind me to ask Leah about Mouse tomorrow at 5 p.m. I will forget.
Okay.
Thanks, Siri. You're the best.
That's right.
Yeah, I will totally forget about it.
So like I said, if you haven't read it, there's a good chance that your local library may have this book if you're a person who hasn't. Or, of course, we will always encourage you to go buy it from your local comic book shop.
Buy it from your local comic shop, because one, it's a good read. Two, it belongs on a shelf in your house.
It does. It's one of the few graphic novels that I will probably never get rid of. In fact, I was telling my mom about it, and she never read it. And I was trying to think of where I put it when I put stuff in my storage, because I'm like, eventually when never mind. It's too late now.
You're already
it's
dead.
Too late for all this. Yeah.
Winter is coming.
But I was gonna say, I'd go get it from my storage and let her read it, because it's a powerful read. It really is. I remember when I first got it, I didn't know what I was in for, really. Other than I knew it was about the Holocaust.
Now that I think about it, I haven't read it since I was a teenager. I kind of want to revisit it.
I was thinking that too, and that was another reason I kind of want to go get it, is that I think I'm going to reread it again. So, and I've read it multiple times already, but it's one of those things that I think I want to read it again. So, also, I mean, can I just say, can we stop with the banning of books?
I mean,
like, what the fuck?
I agree.
Like, Jesus, like, this is how we learn things. I can understand if something is horribly offensive, or something along those, or it's now been deemed that the information in it is, been proven incorrect or something like that. But it's like, I had to read some books that I absolutely hated that had things in them that were whatever. It's like, I've seen other districts where, like To Kill a Mockingbird has been banned and different. And I'm like, what the hell? Right. It's like, why are these books where we're getting alternative looks at things that, us as pure white people? Because again, these books are where I learned about other cultures as a kid, because I was a white kid in a mostly white school district, living around mostly white people. I wasn't exposed to much else until, without books, because, and as I read about things, this is pre-internet, I sought out those things and looked for writers that had different perspectives from me. And then once the internet came along, it was obviously easier to find things to read and find out experiences from different groups and stuff. And I feel like that's made me a much more well-rounded person, especially coming from, like I said, all mostly white. And again, in my elementary school, I think there were, in my class, I think there were 2 black kids in elementary school. I don't, and there were a few girls that were Korean. And man, I don't really remember anybody else. There might have been some Latinos or Latinas or Latinx, however you know, but I don't. But that's basically it. You know what I mean? It's like we were probably 95% white. You know, my teachers were too.
Right.
You know, so it's not like any teacher was really bringing a different experience. You know, it's like so had I not sought out these things, you know, same with comic books, even, you know, reading different perspectives in comic books and stuff, you know, it's like, oh, here's the white superhero written by a white male for white males.
For white males, you know? By white males.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah. So there's my, I don't even want to call it old man rant because I don't feel like that's an old man rant. I feel like that's just a soapbox rant.
You'd be all right. It's just a rant.
But yeah, seriously. So please, people out there, fight back against these stupid school boards doing this. If somebody votes to ban these things, vote to get them out as the school board rep. Like, don't let people pull all this stuff away from your children. You know, it's like really learning. The way learning is at its best is when you can learn about a lot of things, and then you learn how to filter yourself.
Yeah. You mean like critical thinking and stuff?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that, Brian?
I don't know. You're right. What am I thinking?
What are you thinking? How? No. I'm dying. How dare you, sir? Delicious.
All right. Well, let's move on to something mindless here. Did you see Sony's buying Bungie for $3.6 billion?
That's a lot of
scratch. Which is clearly an answer. Yeah, that's clearly an answer to what Microsoft has been doing.
Well, we're going to buy Bungie then.
Yeah. So they get Destiny under their belt. Unfortunately, Bungie doesn't control Halo anymore, you know.
That's terrific, I guess.
Right. You know, it's
wow.
I was trying to look to see if there's like a list of games here.
I mean, what does Bungie do now? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, they make Destiny. Destiny's pretty big. I mean, yeah, it's there's various people, and I've seen this in a couple of things that said that, you know, they feel like Sony overpaid. Yeah, it says Destiny 2, the sequel released in 2017, is Bungie's biggest asset right now, making the company an estimated $200 million in revenue. So, yeah, I don't... There's a non-Destiny game in the works that's planned for release in 2025.
So I'm gonna go to Bungie.net. I'm gonna see what's up here. Let's see what they got.
Okay.
Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. Okay.
Okay.
What else you guys got?
Yep.
The only thing they're advertising is really Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that they do. That really is their giant moneymaker right now. Now, I will say this. With the way that they've redone Destiny, you know, because I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, they went to where it was like free to play or whatever, but then like certain things like expansions or something like that still cost money or something. They're kind of going to that model. So I think they're looking at this, you know, at a game being like a 10-year or a long-term moneymaker, you know, like GTA is.
I mean, so if they pull it off and it's good, cool. But I'm looking at like their store, and the only thing they're basically selling is Destiny 2 and Destiny 2 stuff.
Right. And the next game's not planned for 3 years, basically.
That's a lot of billions for...
Yeah, I don't know exactly what unless they think this next project is like Halo level good or something. But even still, I don't know what Halo brings in for Microsoft, but I'm guessing it's not $3 billion or 3.6 billion. So I don't know.
I mean,
it feels like a significant overpay.
Yes, for sure.
You know,
I don't know how I can look at what people are playing. I would love to pull it up though. You know, I could see like Halo versus Destiny. But
now, I was talking, me and Fluffy Bunny Ash were talking about this, and it's funny because we were just kind of like, because I was like, okay, so what's going to happen next? It's like we were talking about different companies that could get bought, like EA, because there's been a lot of talk that Sony might, as a return, go after EA, which would make a lot of sense, because then you get the FIFA franchise, you get Madden in there, you get Battlefield, Star Wars games. There's a lot more in EA's catalog, of course. Plus, there's back games that you can do things with, right? But Bungie, again, Bungie's known for Halo, which again, they don't have anything to do with anymore, and Destiny. Those are the two things they're really, really known for. And I don't know. Like I said, unless they think that the next game is going to be a really big hit, and that's the thing. I don't know. Or maybe they're going to have Bungie work on games that they already own or something. I don't know. I don't know what the plan there is, but it feels like an overpay. It feels like also like it's a little surprising they didn't go after something like EA or one of those other companies. Like Ashley mentioned that it wouldn't surprise her if they bought like Square Enix.
I mean,
which that would make a lot of sense because of the Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And, that's always been more looked at as kind of a Sony thing, right. So I don't know, who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see. But
I don't know.
This one feels kind of like, okay. Like, well, I figured Sony was going to buy something,
Yeah, that's surprising to me. But,
yeah, me too.
Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. Sony's going to Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Halo, though, did you see the Halo trailer?
I did not. I actually thought I sent it to the email address for the show, and I must not have because I don't see it. But I have not watched it yet. But it's going to be on what, Paramount Plus, right?
The fuck?
Okay, which means I probably won't watch it until after. Well, I don't remember when it debuts, but because I know Picard debuts here in like a month.
Trying very
so
hard
I'll probably wait till, because I definitely want to watch it. I saw a lot of people were mad that Cortana's not blue.
I haven't actually seen the whole trailer, I guess, to be fair.
Okay. I guess they show Cortana and she's not blue.
Oh, interesting. Like I saw the trailer they showed during the football game. And I was like, oh, would you look at that? Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be a live action.
Yeah.
Which kind of threw me off, I'll be honest. I was expecting like animated.
It's kind of weird though, isn't it? Because there's been talk of a Halo series for like a million years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at the idea, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would have thought for sure it would have been. I mean, would they have that animated Halo Fall of Reach or whatever? That was actually pretty cool. So it's like I don't know. It's just weird to me. I wasn't expecting live action.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'll definitely give it a watch though, because why not? I mean, I can't imagine it'll be as entertaining as Red versus Blue, God, no. But
I mean, if it was, that'd be terrific.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll have a more serious tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it could be a good show.
I've always been a fan of like the Halo universe.
Yeah. So I said there's a lot to pull from in there, so I think they could do some fun stuff with it.
Or they're gonna fuck it up horribly. And it's gonna be terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that.
I don't really think there's any middle ground here.
There might be. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah. You're probably right.
There you go. I see. I mean, she's not like, it's not she's blue, but she's definitely looks not blue.
Well, that clarifies.
If I turn all my lights in here blue, bluish green, I would be like, oh man, I'm podcasting with Cortana. It's
okay.
Like whatever.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I think it was one of those things that people were upset because it's like, how hard, like this isn't hard to get right, like
it's, you mean it's the classic,
I think they were looking.
It's not what I'm used to.
100%. Yeah. Well, especially when you look at like Master Chief and stuff. I mean, the armors and stuff on the guys all look. Yeah. So it's like, How could you not get Cortana
it better look
right?
legit as fuck, though. I've seen cosplayers fucking 3D print,
Right?
Spartan armor, so that
It
looks
looks
amazing.
fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, without hundreds of millions of dollars of budget behind them.
So it better look good.
Yeah. I would hope so. Yeah.
Man, it is like hot up here. I don't know what
Nice. That's all that snow outside. It's insulating your house.
Snow more often. Keep my heat.
You got
low.
like 90 feet of snow outside, Did you see the story about the steak or the fight at a Golden Corral over a steak shortage?
What? Is there video?
Yes. It says, here you go. A fight involving dozens of people at a Golden Corral restaurant in Pennsylvania ended with chairs being thrown and punches thrown over a lack of meat at a buffet.
Wow.
More than 40 people were involved. No one was injured. But yeah, there's definitely a video. So there were two parties in line waiting for steak. Somebody had cut in front and then started being picky and finicky about the steaks, taking too long. And then somebody else spoke up and said something, I guess, the other party didn't like. Then it just looks like it turned into an all-out brawl.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, wait,
yeah.
I can't support this fucking website. I'm approaching my limit or whatever. Here we go. We'll go to CBS Philly. All right, I'm going. We got the video. Oh, my God. A 29-second ad? What is this bullshit?
Oh, forget that. Yeah, seriously.
And you know what I love about this ad, Brian, is I scrolled down and the ad followed me as a pop-up window.
That's great, isn't it?
That technology should be punched square in the face.
Yeah, I've seen that on. There was something I was looking at on the New York Times the other day, and all I wanted to see was like the next line down. That's it. I didn't care about the rest of the thing, but it did the same thing. It scrolls right past it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying you just to see that next line. Like, sorry.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't want to see it.
This looks like a fun brawl. Looks like pure Philly right there.
Yeah, over steak. I mean.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, this next story, I got the headline.
Beat the shit out of people for steaks.
I agree. Well, look at how the grocery stores were.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
you're not wrong. So what you got next besides people beating each other with baby chairs?
Yeah, right. All right. So the next one is 243 pounds of contraband bologna seized at Texas-Mexico border.
What?
243 pounds of contraband bologna seized at Texas-Mexico border. Did you know? I did not know this. Pork products have the potential to introduce foreign animal diseases that can have devastating effects to the U.S. economy and our agriculture industry, said Director Field Operations Hector A. Mancha. We asked travelers to declare any items acquired abroad so we can prevent the introduction of potentially harmful products. I did not know that, like various bolognas could introduce things that could be catastrophic to things in another country.
Did not know this.
Yeah.
Fucking wicked deadly bologna, dude.
There you go, everybody. Make sure you declare your bologna before you go into another country.
This guy. There's a guy with a goatee and a weird hairdo. He almost looks like oh my God, he looks like, who is the guy that used to make motorcycles? He looks like Jesse James. Like old Jesse James wearing anal beads around his neck. Who is this man? I'm clicking the link.
I don't know, because I don't know what you're looking at.
He's connected to this story. Yeah.
Oh, is he? I probably have a different.
I just pulled up the images, because I wanted to see the bologna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
But okay, so I pull up I click on the article, and this dude's face is not in the article anywhere. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So disappointed. I wanted to see Dollar Store Jesse James.
Sorry about that. Maybe next time,
Tony. He's got skull tattoos too.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm assuming, because he's an old man, it looks like he's got like dreadlocks, that he's kind of rocking the skillet with dreadlocks and head tattoos. It's a good look. I'm guessing, you can't quite see, but he's probably got about 4 teeth in there.
Ooh, that's a lot more than I would have guessed. I would have guessed somewhere between the over/under is probably like 2.5. You know?
It's hard to tell, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's like I said, that you can learn about not smuggling bologna, I guess.
I mean, so I'm gonna start calling underwear bologna smugglers.
Right.
Oh, this Jesse James guy though. I really want to know his story, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad you didn't find it.
Yeah.
So.
Samesies.
Yeah. All right. So this next one I got.
What you got?
Oh, there we go. This kind of reminded me of back at Festival a little bit.
I liked Festival.
You remember the giant cast iron that they had?
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. They had this mat for those obviously who weren't in attendance. They had this huge cast iron that they would cook like potatoes and onions and other goodness in. And it smelled delicious. And anyway, looks like Lodge cast iron says, yeah, a cookware company and
I think it's pretty dope.
And since I know how much Tony likes breakfast.
Well, not only do I like breakfast,
I figured that might cover a breakfast.
I like cast iron.
Right.
Cast iron's the shit. I think Skype is fucking us up right now, my guy.
Yeah. And you could do a giant cornbread in that.
Oh, there you go. Skype took a mean shit on my face for a second there.
Fair enough.
Back, though, so we're good.
Right.
Although I didn't know.
All right. I was saying it would be.
That I'm not gonna, because I know he likes his anonymity. But I didn't know a friend of ours who likes to contribute to the show every week lives in somewhere near the world's largest teapot. And by somewhere, I just mean the state.
Yeah.
I'm offended we weren't aware of this.
Fair enough.
What if I want to see the world's largest teapot?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a tour to watch the world's largest shits. Not shits, but Skype just did that on my face. I want to take a tour of the world's largest stuff.
I'm just thinking back to your the NFL, the NFL's hardest hits. It's like the world's biggest shits.
Exactly. It's going to be my travel blog.
Oh, man.
I'm going to become an influencer for Dookie.
You're just like, dude, look at this breakfast I just ate. After picks to follow.
Exactly. This is going to be a bowl stainer.
Oh, man. Yep. Like better put some kills in the toilet because this is going to be a mess.
No, I would like to see this giant cast iron pan. I see it's going to the Museum of Cast Iron, which I would also go to. I'd love to get a T-shirt.
Yeah, right. I hope they have some sort of fun phrase, some slogan for the thing. I don't know what it would be, but I hope they have one.
Look up the Museum of Cast Iron right now.
All right. Is that in Tennessee or is it somewhere else?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I forgot. I was looking to see where.
I can't spell, so I'm going to let the Google take care of that for me.
Right.
Oh, their lodge is building it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. It's to open in 2022, though, so it's got to be close. Am I right? South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. That doesn't make any sense. Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania, you silly geese.
Yeah. Guess it's not anymore.
As part of a cast iron and culture, it's a special focus on solar food and cooks. Thanks to Lodge partnership, blah, blah, blah. You'll also be able to see the world's largest cast iron skillet. Rare cast iron collectibles. I mean, just because I like goofy shit like this, I would definitely go to this museum.
Yeah. I'd like to see what collectibles and stuff they have, honestly.
Like, I was about to hit the store, like, ooh, I wonder if they got in a cast iron store or the lodge store. It's going to be cast iron. I wonder if they got not
wonder
cast
if they have
iron,
cast iron shirts.
What?
Shirts made out of cast iron, you think?
Sick.
Hats that look like cast iron pans?
I don't know if they'd be accessories. They don't just have merch.
They should.
Let's see what the accessories are. Nope, these are like spatulas and shit.
Oh, earrings. Yeah.
Little cast iron earrings would be cool.
I mean, yeah.
You got to season them up.
Well, you remember a long time ago we saw those cast iron measuring spoons?
Yeah. Look like little
skillets.
Fucking adorable.
Yeah. That I still would love to have a set of, even though I absolutely don't need. But I'd love to have a set of. Well, speaking of cast iron, and speaking of also, people being attacked, as I like to find stories. Apparently, this one has both.
Lay it on me.
Man beaten with metal skillet after declining an offer of potatoes.
What?
Police say. A man was arrested after being accused of beating another person with a metal skillet who refused an offer of potatoes, according to Pennsylvania State Police.
What's Pennsylvania?
Police say a 27-year-old. A lot of cast iron.
Keystone
apparently.
State getting crazy.
The man was frying potatoes in hot oil with a metal skillet and offered them to a 32-year-old victim who declined. That's when the man became suddenly enraged and threw the hot frying oil and potatoes into the victim's face without warning. Authorities said he went on to beat the person so hard with the skillet that the handle snapped off.
What is this lady here at? Oh, man. All right.
The man was taken to the hospital and treated for burns and a significant head injury. And, of course, the other person was arrested and is facing charges such as aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
I mean,
it wasn't a cast iron, obviously, or he would have probably murdered the guy, but it was still a metal skillet.
You do not deny fried potatoes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who says no to fried potatoes? Right?
Like, if I offered you some fried potatoes, you said, no, I'm sorry, Brian, I'm going to beat you to death.
I mean, that's fair, though.
I know you would completely understand it.
I feel like I would hand you the skillet at that point to
it becomes like like ritualistic suicide.
Yeah, but I also want to know, it's like, I wouldn't waste the cooked potatoes on the guy. I'd get a clean skillet.
Like, sir, wait right here. Just over there heating up a pan for no reason.
Yeah, just some oil in it.
Like, but son, I really need to go to my doctor's. But shh, just hold on. I got a special treat for you. Hot oil.
Everything will be fine. Yeah.
Hot oil. Bludgeon.
Bang. Yeah. Exactly. Tell you what, kids these days, and they're refusing potatoes.
Bastard guys. You bastard guys.
Yep. All right. I think that's all the stories I got. You got anything else?
To take my money.
Oh, all right.
Weren't turned off here.
Perfect.
Let's get this thing going again.
Shut up and take my money.
Do one of those. I'm gonna copy paste. Do one of these. So Brian, we've definitely done our fair share of shitting on Little Caesars and the Wheels of Shame.
Good. You brought this up. I forgot I was going to bring this up.
Right.
Yeah. This is something I feel like we have to do.
But you obviously have seen the Batman Calzony.
Yes.
First off, what the fuck? How has this now become a thing?
Yeah.
Second off, I need one in my life.
Yeah. I feel like I thought we had completely missed out on the Calzony before. And that now that they have the Bat Calzony or whatever they're calling it, I feel like we should get one. Even if we don't do any sort of recording for it, I just feel like we need one of those in our lives.
I agree. No, it would have to be because, we're entertainers. We should definitely do a sweet and salty language about this.
I feel like we should do that and get the new what is it, the hard sodas that Bud Light's putting out.
Pizza and soda.
And have a time. Yeah. Yeah,
you're right. I mean,
we'll
it's a
just do that and
pepperoni
have
pizza
time.
with a Parmesan and buttery tasting calzone-like crust filled with garlic white sauce, cheese, and julienne pepperoni plus crazy sauce for the low price of $7.99. Although we can only get it between 4 and 8.
That's bullshit. But
yeah,
all right,
Batman
fine.
flies at night, so what are
Yeah.
they doing?
Well, it takes a certain artisan to create such a masterpiece that they're only there for 4
Fair
to 8.
enough. With my new bread maker, I should make pizza dough and try to replicate it because I can see where they make the cuts.
Yeah. I'm sure it would probably taste better.
Also, on their website, I just have my mouse hovering over like Gotham City. That's like it's like this imposed over this Little Caesar's orange background, and this little pop-up just comes up and just says a cityscape. I don't know why. I tried clicking it.
I mean, I gotta say, for all the grief and shame that Bruce Wayne feels, I feel like Little Caesars was the perfect place to pair for the Batman.
It also says available at participating locations. So,
all right. I have to find out.
It might not be available at my local, although I do have the app. We got Wheels of Shame a little while ago, by the way. I forgot to bring that up.
Yeah,
kids came over to play some games, and we had nothing planned. I was like, "Fuck it, we got." And you know what? I wasn't mad at it.
It gets the job done, man. We've talked about it before. It's not terrible, I've had worse.
The app, Little Caesar stomps his spear and bats fly out of it. Fucking sick.
Yeah. Well, he's they should have a Batman cowl on him.
I just want to see if I can order it from my local store. The Batman Calzone. Banner, if you can't order it, this app is a waste of time because it is so Batman themed right now. When you click on it, the little load thing is the Batman Calzone spinning around. Okay.
Oh, man.
So yeah, they offer it. They also have Batman Calzone meal deals.
Excellent.
So, excellent. Okay.
Perfect.
So, yeah, I guess we're doing this.
Yep.
Fucking A, right. Oh, wait.
Yep.
Where is it? Nope.
I don't have it.
Fucking A, right.
I got to alphabetize it or something.
You should do something like that, yeah. I can see where that...
We only need 2 sound bites. We need this.
It's true.
Fucking A, right.
And this.
In the end, there can be only one.
Probably not that one.
I did reference, Highlander rules again yesterday because somebody made a comment that years ago they saw somebody they thought looked like me, and they were like, "Yeah, we kept going back, but we never saw him again." And I'm like, "Well, that's because I killed him."
Yeah. Did you see the lightning storm? That was me absorbing his power.
Yeah, exactly. That's Highlander rules. What rules is rules. I mean, I can't
there could
think
be
about
only
it.
one.
All right. Well, let's move on to our Q of the W.
Q.
And last week we asked a pretty simple question.
We did. We asked it for your your nephew there too. So he better fucking listen to this episode. I'm talking to you, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna go to Instagram first because we only have one comment on Instagram. Steve Zero from some science podcast that I don't remember now. Sorry, Steve. It was a couple hours ago, and I've had a couple whiskeys.
I think it was science faction, wasn't it?
Well, we did ask you, what's your favorite sandwich, by the way. Sorry.
Right.
His is a taco. Is a taco a sandwich, though?
Oh, boy, he's trying this again.
Just saying.
I don't know, because look at it this way, right? If you go to Mexican places and you tell them that you want a sandwich, what do they call it? Do they call it a taco? No, they call it...
They actually have sandwiches called tortas, and they're fucking
Exactly,
delicious.
That's what I was getting at. They are, you're correct. That's kind of what I was getting at, so I don't know. I mean, in Mexican food, they actually have their own sandwich, so I don't know if taco counts as a sandwich. That's a conversation for high-end philosophers, not people like us.
I'm just going to say...
That's where we need Dev to have like a weekly segment where he just, Judge Dev. What?
No, I'm not going to judge Dev, but I like the segment Judge Dev.
Oh, that's what I meant.
I'm going to reply to Steve Zero.
All right.
I'm going to ask him, but is a taco a sandwich? I just want to see what he says.
All right. That's fair.
Wow, this whole thing, this whole business app is stupid.
Because obviously, this conversation's been had to death on the internet. Same with hot dogs. And I remember years ago we asked, is cereal soup? So
right.
just for more just fun conversation than anything.
Well, apparently, this using this on the desktop is no bueno. I'll have to respond on my phone. So we'll do that later.
All right, fine.
So bouncing over the face page once it loads. Yep. Very smooth, Meta. Very smooth.
By the way, I mean, I'm going to go with what you were saying about tortoise, though, because fucking here, tortoise delicious.
Speaking of Judge Dev, says something more standard. The Rachel, quote unquote, coleslaw, thin sliced turkey, Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing on a light rye. Something less standard. My mouse died. Weird. Kimchi grilled cheese. Oh, actually sounds pretty good.
Oh, no thanks.
Something bougie.
I can see
grilled ham and aged Gouda with duck fat caramelized onions. Sourdough bread with spicy aioli instead of butter.
That sounds all right.
Fucking tasty, if I say so myself.
I would certainly throw it on that one.
And then Zach Ellensworth. He says Cuban pork sandwich by a mile.
Fair enough. I'm down for a good Cuban myself.
Cuban's also legit as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got on my end, though, Brian.
Nothing on Facebook?
That was Facebook.
Oh, shit.
I know, right?
Man, I really thought we had more than that over there.
You would think.
Nah. All right. Well, on Twitter, we'll see if it loads. I clicked the wrong tab. There we go. All right. So on Twitter, our pal Garrett said, Cuban, it's a perfect sandwich. Which once again, I can't argue.
For the Cuban.
I'm a big fan of a Cuban. Yeah. Well, let's just say, so Hobie said any sandwich, which, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that too, because I mean, sandwiches are delicious.
Terrible sandwiches, though.
Yeah. Well, they said any sandwich. So next time we visit them, we need to take like a cat food and pickle sandwich.
Dig in, motherfucker.
Here you go, buddy. You said any sandwich is great. So yeah.
We call this the fancy freak.
Right. At Beside a Geek podcast said now sandwich, like as in was it Jeffrey, I believe. And I don't know, then they just devolved into a whole thing about the KFC Double Down, which I don't know how someone didn't mention. I mean, that's the greatest sandwich ever created.
Exactly. Double Down's pretty dope.
Probably not. I don't know about that, but all right.
I enjoyed.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I had one.
I kind of thought about making them myself, just pounding out some chicken breasts. Pound it out, then I'll make a sandwich.
Yeah, that's the right way to do things. Well, I mean, you gotta refuel afterward. I mean, damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to get my Facebook stuffs to load here. Jesus.
Shit.
All right. Here we go. I'm sorry if I missed someone's response to me on Instagram, but I'm going to try to get all of them here. At Marnsky said Thanksgiving leftover sandwich, turkey, cranberry, stuffing on whole wheat bread.
I mean, that's pretty good right there.
I ain't mad at that one either. Yeah, I've actually done that myself and enjoyed it.
It's a good move.
Disco Daddy Rebooted says Kat Denning and Christina Hendricks. Which, I mean, can't really argue on that one either.
What are you going to do? He's right.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce 994499. He says DeNick's roast pork from the Reading Terminal in Pennsylvania, which I've seen that on so many, because I believe that's the roasted pork with the broccoli rabe.
I believe so.
It's like an Italian beef, but they do roast pork instead, and then that broccoli rabe. It looks freaking amazing.
Fact, the only time I've been to Philly, we went to the Reading Terminal, and I had, it's the first time I had Scrapple.
Oh yeah,
which I thought I enjoyed it, and then people told me what it was. I was like, yeah, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, right. Megan, that from Screams and Moans, she says tough call, battle between a muffaletta or a Cuban. Man, another vote for the Cuban.
I mean, Cubans are legit as fuck.
Yeah, like I said, I ain't mad at that. I mean, you've seen me eat a bunch of Cubans, so and the sandwiches. Yeah. Old Dirty Diaper says Reuben, which I was kind of expecting more people to say because of how popular Reubens are, you know. I think. All right, that looks like all I got on Instagram, which is crazy that I got more on Instagram than we did as a show.
Right?
It's kind of weird.
Shot caller.
I guess.
20-inch ram. Something like that.
Wow. All right, and of course, Cheeto Bandito weighed in, and he says fave sandwiches, basic, peanut butter, straight up or with jelly, jam, preserves, honey, or Nutella. Ham and Swiss on some good bread. The condiments depend on the bread, however. That's fair.
Agreed.
If I go ham and Swiss, I like to go with a little spicy mustard usually.
What would your condiment be for dry, over-kneaded bread? I got like a half a loaf.
A garbage can. I already told you, cut it up and I mean,
it would make some legit croutons. You're not lying.
Yeah, I mean, if you had some salad fixins, there you go. You're all set.
Croutons.
Oh, well, that's fair too. Croutons are all right. He says bologna. Fuck yeah, I'll take one. Grew up on the stuff and still enjoy one occasionally. So I'm assuming he's meaning like, you know, like the old Oscar Mayer bologna, not like big chunks. You'll have to. You can ask him that the next time you see him.
Is that a bologna in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Yeah. Are you smuggling bologna? And of course, grilled cheese he has on there too, because grilled cheese is freaking amazing.
When he says bologna, I'm assuming he's going fried bologna, because I enjoy fried bologna sandwich every once in a while myself.
All right, Cheeto, you're gonna have to answer.
We need to clarify this
because yeah. Are you buy for like, you know, like I said, like the old Oscar Mayer bologna, or are you talking? Nickel? Yeah, are you talking like, you know, big chunk bologna thrown on a flat top and given a crust and then thrown right in the trash, which is my preferred way.
Like, I'm pretty sure for Michelle's birthday, she wants me to buy a big hunk of bologna and smoke it, which I don't know if you've seen pictures of. It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. If you do that, I really want to try some of that because I've never had smoked.
Yeah, you like smoke it, and then you like towards the end you glaze it with barbecue sauce. It looks fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a giant hot dog. Let's be real.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Which, as we both know, was her favorite meat for a long time. So, yeah. Really quick, you know how last week we talked at length about sandwiches at the end of the show?
Yes.
And I basically was like, man, I need a sandwich, you know. So what I ended up going with 2 grilled cheese. So
nice. Did you stack them up, make it 1 grilled cheese?
No.
The Big Mac of grilled cheeses?
I should have. No, and the only cheeses I had were so I went provolone and American because that's what I had. And I'm like you, I'd like to have, you know, 2 cheeses.
Oh, yeah, multiple cheeses.
Yeah. So
if you're only using 1 cheese and you're making grilled cheese, you should just be shot.
I almost went with the mayo move just to try it, but I just decided to stick with the classics. You know, just classic butter.
You got a lot of
cheese.
mayo. I got some dry ass bread for you.
Quit trying to pedal off your dry bread, damn it. Nobody want it. Cheeto says not as basic but not fancy. And he says an Italian hoagie toasted up with good quality Italian dressing, banging. I agree with that. I'm a big fan of just, you know, like the old school like deli counter hoagie kind of things. Yeah.
Some fucking gabagool on there, some capicola.
Right.
A little salam, some Genoa.
All right, I was going to say, how far are we going with this? You going to keep going?
Yeah, put some fucking pepperdew pipple. I can't even talk. Fuck them. Some peppers on there.
How much peppers do a pepper do peppers if a pepper
Yeah,
do
Jesus
peppers
Christ.
do.
Goddamn tongue's too
All
fat.
right. He says a Philly steak, peppers, onions, mushrooms, some good cheese sauce, or a nice provolone. Slow down, Tex. If you're having a Philly steak, you're not a whiz guy?
Yeah, right?
What?
No.
Good cheese sauce. He said, "Well, you putting like a bechamel on there?"
I mean, that'd be pretty good
I wouldn't
too.
be mad at it. I've seen on some cooking shows where they've actually done a bechamel on there. It actually looked really good.
I'm sure it's delicious. But at the same time, if someone cracks open that 5-gallon can of cheese, I'm down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If a cheesesteak's one of those few sandwiches that basically whatever cheese you're putting in there, I'm not gonna. You can't. Like I'm not too fancy to eat the Cheese Whiz or American on.
Here's
there,
my thoughts on it.
Bro. Or even a Velveeta. I saw somebody do melted Velveeta over the top instead of Cheese Whiz.
You got the provolone, which is delicious. I love a provolone.
Yeah, me
but
too.
With a cheesesteak, the whiz is almost like glue, and it kind of like fills all the gaps, and it becomes like this one like homogeneous sandwich, and it's delicious.
It does. You're not wrong. I know it's one of those rare spots where if almost anything else, if you were like blah blah blah, I'm putting Cheese Whiz on it, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. But when you tell me a Philly cheesesteak, I
hope the cheese was going on the end of a rifle.
Yeah, but a cheesesteak, I'm with you, man. Like I said, I've had it with that. I've had it with Philly. I've had it with American. I've had just cheese sauce. I've had like the stadium nacho cheese on there. It's like, and the thing is, they all taste fine. Like it's just. But there's something about the Cheese Whiz. There's just something about it. And if I remember correctly, when Michael Simon was doing his, like, where he'd go to a city and try different whatevers, I think he did that with cheesesteaks, where he got one with, like, provolone or something else, and then the other one was with Cheese Whiz, and he even was like, I don't know, there's something about that Cheese Whiz.
There's something about the whiz. It's crazy.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. It whiz what it is, or whiz what it whiz.
I was very much one of those people that kind of turned my nose up at it, but then I had one and was like, hey, you know what? I got to give on this one.
I got to go slumming, man.
It's kind of like I've said. It's kind of like on a cheeseburger. I'm a big fan of the American cheese on a cheeseburger. I ain't mad at it. All right, so the next one, the chicken string Alfredo. So we do this at the restaurant. Sliced chicken breast, sautéed with pepperoni, tossed in a little Alfredo sauce, and toasted on a hoagie bun with mozzarella, then topped with fried onion strings.
I mean, that sounds pretty.
That sounds all
pretty
right.
Good.
I'm not mad at that.
I like the thought of chicken breast sautéed with pepperoni. That's pretty cool. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, I'd be down for trying that. Pastrami says a good deli pastrami with some Swiss cheese on rye bread and, of course, ground mustard. Amen.
Amen to that.
Nice,
like
that mustard. Yeah. And then he says, basically pour a cold spaghetti sandwich, one slice of buttered bread topped with some cold spaghetti, meat sauce, and fold it over.
I've never done that.
I've never done a spaghetti sandwich, but I have seen people do spaghetti sandwiches online.
Yeah. This is a new sandwich. I've never heard of a sandwich.
Yeah, I also saw somebody do a chicken parm, and that's how they did it. They took like spaghetti, and basically it wasn't frozen, but it was cold enough that it was firm, so it would hold together. And then they basically, I think they battered it or whatever, and then they cooked that with like the chicken in between it or something to that, or maybe it was a deep fry. I can't remember.
Deep fried spaghetti taco, basically.
I mean, yeah, but it was kind of like it was basically like a chicken parm though, because you got your spaghetti and your chicken sandwich, or your chicken, the cheese,
Right.
But that's
sounds
pretty
like
poor, my friend. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to talk poor though, the classic poor sandwich is one of two sandwiches. One, mayo on white bread.
Yeah, the cheese sandwich, the Kraft single on white bread.
Yeah, or my favorite one will always be what my dad used to say, which was a jam sandwich, which was you just jam two pieces of bread together. So, yeah, I kind of don't mind the spaghetti sandwich though. I mean, it actually doesn't sound terrible.
I completely forgot about it until this moment when you said the jam sandwich. Because right when my job, right when I first started working there, a guy I work with he's a nut, but I love the guy. His breakfast sandwich was 2 bagel halves with a donut in the middle. I'm like, what the fuck are
Not
you
as
doing?
good as
He's
my
like, it's my
everything
breakfast sandwich.
Wow.
And this guy's like, he's got to be like $1.70. He's rail thin, and he's one of those guys.
How the hell do you eat like that?
I know, he eats like shit all the time, and he's rail thin.
Wow.
What
that reminds me of my everything sandwich that I posted on Twitter that one time, where I had 2 everything, or I had an everything bun, and then I put an everything bagel in between the 2 pieces of the bun. Like, man, this sandwich is everything. Everything. Oh man. All right. So that's all the answers we got.
Those are some good ones.
Some good sandwiches in there. And I'm not gonna lie, second week in a row, man. I could go for a good sandwich right now.
You know, hopefully it gives your nephew there some ideas too.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, sir. All right. So I got a Q of the W for this week.
Do it.
Here that I saw. It was tweeted out by comic book writer Gail Simone, who's well known for writing all bunch of different comics. But she posted, name a classic video game you were inexplicably terrible at.
I mean, Ghouls and Ghosts, but that game's impossibly hard too.
Yeah, right. I think in my head, it would be like, just for some reason you were terrible at like Pac-Man, like a game that shouldn't be hard to at least play a few boards of, but you just absolutely just ate the ground on every, board of it or something.
God, I don't know. I'm trying to go back to, old games that I just was like, man, I cannot get a win at all.
Yeah.
Classic video game that you're inexplicably terrible at. Do you got one, Brian? Because I'm racking my brain here. I'm having a hard time. Right?
Well, I mean, my biggest thing was like pretty much for me, it was any game that you had to that there was real flying controls in.
Right.
For a long time, it was driving stuff. Like anything you had to drive in, I was terrible at. But I've since gotten past most of that. I'm actually, you've been with me in Grand Theft Auto and various other games. I mean, I'm usually pretty decent in a vehicle in those games now. But flying, I'm still god awful. I mean, the worst maybe.
Fair enough.
You can hand me the controls and say, this is what you do, and I still will probably crash whatever it is if it takes off from the ground. Because that really, I don't know what it is. I just have such trouble with that.
Right. God.
I was trying to think of a specific game though.
Something like Pilot Wings or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I wasn't great at that game. Star Fox I was not very good at, but yeah. Man, I hate
what?
this.
I was always I could get by, but I've never beaten any of them. Would be Sonic games.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like I said, I could get by, but I was never good enough to make it all the way to the end.
Right.
You know how many times I hate that sound of that stupid hedgehog hitting something or rings flying everywhere? Oh, God, I hated that sound. So that would probably be mine. Would be like I was never good at Sonic.
I'm scrolling through the responses just to kind of see if there's anything that triggers for anything that I think you or I would be
right
good at. But it's interesting though, because it's like most of the games we played as kids, we weren't bad at. Well, yeah, like see somebody named like Ninja Gaiden Sigma or whatever, but there's some of those later Ninja Gaiden ones were near impossible. It seemed like,
those games.
Yeah,
and they were hard
I
as
did
fuck.
not, but I didn't, but I also did.
I had to.
That's fair.
I played the shit out of the Ninja Gaiden games.
Yeah, because that's my thing too. Is it's like it doesn't have to be a game you're bad at because otherwise, or gave up on because, like I said, otherwise I can name every Grand Theft Auto because I pretty much don't ever beat them because I always hit a mission that I can't beat and stop.
Like I mean,
that's what it's like.
It's like I can't think of a game that I just sucked at.
Yeah,
it's like every game I would you'd figure it out. You could get by.
Right. Yeah. Do you know what the one game I will say that I know frustrated the living shit out of both of us, and I don't know if you ever beat it, but I never beat it, which was Battletoads.
Oh, God, no. That game was fucking hard.
Because that game hits a point to where it just felt impossible.
Yeah, it's like you remember. I think it was on the original Nintendo, the Ninja Turtles game, that fucking waterboard with the spikes and you're running out of air and there's squids and.
Oh yeah, someone actually mentions that too. That's a good one too. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I could probably say every Call of Duty because I'm not great at. I mean, I'm by far not the worst.
When we used to play every week with the boys, you got pretty good.
Yeah, I was not bad, but I've definitely never been great at it for sure. Oh wow, somebody actually had Golgo 13 on
that
here.
Game was fucking dope. I enjoyed that game.
I remember we played that quite a bit. Yeah. It's so funny, like looking at some of these games though, because I'm trying to think, like because there's like somebody's mentioned GoldenEye and
dude, GoldenEye. How do you not be good at GoldenEye?
You got me, but that's kind of I think the point of it though is that like everybody was decent at that game, and then it's like not me. I was the worst.
People just can't play those shooters though. Like the controls, they can't wrap their head around. This
or
is my sight. This is my walking.
Yeah. Or, like if I was going to pick something, odds are my first guess would have really been something that was on the Nintendo 64 because that controller was so different.
Wonky and weird.
There was probably something on there that I stunk at, but I can't think of anything because I don't tend to play games. Like if I'm really bad at a game, I just either don't play it anymore or I got better at it. You know what I mean? Like you just play until you get better. But I was trying to think of just some game. I love the question, but I have a hard time coming up with some game to where I'm like, oh man, that game was fucking,
That's when you ask that, I'm like, fuck, because like every game that I enjoyed playing. So if I didn't like it, I'm not gonna play it.
Right. The Sonic games, I quit playing because I just honestly I didn't really care for them, but I also wasn't very good at them. So that's one thing I will say is. Another thing similar to the concept of the flying in games, if a game forces you to make super fast like twitch decisions, I'm not great at those. I don't have great reaction speed. So games they're like Sonic became a problem for me because you get going so fast at a certain point that I'm like
it's inevitable. You're gonna hear that ding! Sonic goes flying through the air with his stupid red shoes. Man, fuck
damn
that
it.
hedgehog.
Fuck that. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else though, really. Because I think a lot of it too is, man, I cannot believe how many people said Contra on here.
Fuck you. Contra code. That made it easy.
No, we beat Contra without the Contra code.
We did.
Let alone, I mean, maybe by yourself is a little harder.
It is one of those bullet hell games, but it wasn't as bad as the bullet hell games that are out now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know I struggled for a while with Doom when it first came out. Like I wasn't good at it. But again, I just got better at it. Oh, there's actually a really good one. Resident Evil or Resident Evil 2. I am not good at those kind of games because
I think the thing that fucks people up with the Resident Evil games is the fixed camera angles.
Yes, I agree. Okay, I got it. I know what mine is now. It just hit me. Anything from the Hitman franchise.
Oh, really? Man, I love those games.
Dude, and you know what the reason is. I am not a stealth player. Right. It is everything in me. It's like, dude, I have a gun. Why do I need to be sneaky? Like, why can't I just shoot the guy? And so after a while, even in any game where stealth is the Assassin's Creeds, after a while I can't progress past them because I hit a point where I just suck at the stealthy stuff.
I think the thing, when's the last time you played a Hitman game?
Whatever the one that was not the free one that they had on PlayStation this last time. Ah, shit. I don't remember if it was on, I think it was on PlayStation 3, honestly.
I think you might enjoy the newer Hitman games because it's like, yes, there's a stealth aspect to it if you want, but it's like every board is like this weird Rube Goldberg machine that you could start setting things in motion and you can kill people in fucking weird ways. And there's like, I don't even know how many different avenues you can take to take somebody out. It makes it pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot more because it really was like I said, it's so not how I play that it's really hard for me to play that way, you know, because I'm used to every other game. You just run and gun basically. And in fairness, like I can do sneaky. That was really my strength in Halo. A lot of times was I'd run around and find snipers and, you know,
put them in the dirt.
Sneak up. Yeah. You know, and, I've got my moments, but with like those games like that one, and I don't know if you ever played Thief.
Yeah.
But that's another one where like you're supposed to, you can do things, but it's like, it's so much less complicated if you play sneaky, but I just don't have the tolerance for it. So my brain just wants to just go, fuck it. And go, you know, so I have a hard time playing it. And I'll have to do boards over and over and over again because of that, you know. Meanwhile, you can give me a game where I got to like figure out like puzzles, and I will sit there and no problem, like really tinker and do little shit, you know, like it's just like I said, it's just how my brain is. It just doesn't want to sit. And I don't want to wait for the light to hit a certain point so that there won't be a light on me so that I can reach up and do something and then wait again till the light goes back and then go.
That's why I think you might enjoy the newer Hitman games because it's like a big ass puzzle now. That you can also just kick the door in and shoot everybody in the face if you really wanted to. But it's like the last time, because for some reason the servers were fucking up for us. I haven't played in a while. But there's this guy I had to take out, and he's like, hey, I'm having this, you know, there's this general. Well, I'm having this meeting of this weapons guy. You can obviously take out the general, put his clothes on, and you go up and meet the guy, and he shows you, like, hey, pick a picture of one of these dummies, and then the robot, like, takes up a machine gun and shoots the dummy, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to replay this, and I got to find a picture of that guy. And you find a magazine with his face on it. So then you show the robot, and the robot just turns on and blows the dude away. And everyone in the room's like, oh, my God, you know. And you just leave the room.
Yeah, see, I like that a whole lot better because, like, the early ones, and they weren't bad games by any means. They're good games. It's just, they're just not for me, which is fine. You know, not every game's for everybody, but I just found myself.
Like, you know, like, I'm going to unplug this generator, and someone's going to come over here, and it's going to set up this whole series of events. And eventually that person's going to die. It's pretty really funny. Yeah, I like them a lot.
I actually like that a lot better. Yeah. I like from the beginning, I didn't like how, like in Hitman, you know, you could play it by running and gunning. It was just a whole lot harder, you know, which I understood, but it was like, you know, maybe give us a little, you know, middle ground here to where, you know, maybe once in a while it's the right move. And it kind of wasn't. It's like, you know, you're severely or significantly rewarded if you sneak, and you're severely hampered if you don't. Oh, absolutely. You know, unless it was one of the like sniper boards or something where you gotta, you know, figure out which guy's the target and then shoot the right guy, basically. Which, you know, those ones, whatever. I can, you know, I actually like those where you had to keep waiting and, you know, try to get the line right to, you know, somebody might walk in front of you or this or that.
Champagne tray or something.
Yeah, you know, those I'm okay with, but it's just or like I said, you know, Assassin's Creed kind of always gave me that same trouble, which was the game is so much harder if you don't sneak around and hide and do all this other stuff, you know. But the killings are a lot cooler if you do all the sneaky shit.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. When you're just like walking with a group of monks and all of a sudden it's like, flink. Oh, he's dead. What the fuck happened? Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Nothing. Or like, you leap down from a building, kill the guy, and then jump into a hay pile right next to it, and you just wait.
It cracked me up. Where'd that guy go?
Like nobody around you.
Yeah. Have you ever tried jumping into hay? You just don't vanish. There'd be like fucking legs hanging out of it.
Yeah, right. Like that hay pile looks a little. Nah, he can't be in there.
But I see a leg. Nah, it's fine. Just go patrol the roofs.
Yeah. Right. He's clearly was able to get back on the roof after dropping down and killing the guy.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. So there's your complicated question. It is interesting to me though, reading through the replies, like some of the games people said, like, the Mario games and I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some people that when you put like early Mario games in front of them, they struggle mightily with them.
Than when someone's playing a Super Mario Brothers and that first Goomba appears and they jump and they land right in front of it and it kills them. There's nothing that makes me laugh harder.
Well, what's funnier is if they do it like three times in a row. You're just like,
how do I kill you? Just jump on top of it and they try again. They just land right in front of it.
Yeah, you're like, look, here, I'll show you. Like, here you go, the next one. And then a fucking Koopa shows up, and they're like, what the hell's this? Like, what do I do with this
just stop
thing?
it. No, but if you stop it twice, oh, you're dead. Shit. Oh, you got taken out by its own shell because it hit the block in front of you.
Yeah, just don't kick it. Yeah, just don't kick it into something that'll come back. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I saw one of the responses on there said Lego Star Wars. And I'm like, how can you be bad at the Lego games? They are like literally built for children. Yeah, they're really, really built for.
Well, Brian, there's a lot of dumb people. Maybe this person's missing hands. They got to play with their feet.
Maybe. The Star Wars ones, I actually think, are the easiest, maybe of any of them, because you have force powers and you can throw your lightsaber. So and you can deflect with the lightsaber. Whereas in like the Marvel games and stuff, you got to have certain powers to do that stuff. But with like every Jedi in that game, you can do all that stuff.
Far and whatever.
Yeah,
people are stupid.
Like,
Brian, people are stupid.
That was the easiest
one. That's why I can't wait for everyone to get snowed in. You know what? I forgot to talk about. I know we're running super long.
Yeah, probably.
We're over 2.5 hours according to my clock.
Oh my God, yeah, we are. Jesus,
I mean, we could always break it up into 2 segments if we really want to, but who cares?
All right.
I got one more thing, and then we should probably wrap this shit up.
All right.
So, not snowmageddon day, but a day last week that I went to the store, and it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. I went to 3 different stores actually. It was a weekend. Every store I went to was insane. Everyone was rude. I hated everybody, even in the parking lots. Everything went.
So, pretty typical day. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this gives me a funny idea for like a TikTok and / a reel for our social media. And I was going to be like, you know, hey, everybody, I'm just letting everyone know I'm anti-mask now, but I'm pro-COVID. Fuck everybody. But then I'm like, I don't want to get locked into this group of people, so I'm not making this.
Right.
But then,
yeah.
But I think you can agree with me that you've seen people. You've seen people that think Super Mario is hard.
I've literally seen people do what we were talking about, where they just keep jumping into that first Goomba, and I don't mean like
let's go COVID.
A child. Yeah.
Maybe not, but that's definitely how I felt that day.
Right. I mean, I understand their pain. Like I said, putting the controller in front of them is like going, "Hey, Brian, fly this."
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh, and they're like, it's real simple. Up is this, down is this. And I'm like, boom. Time and time again. That's why thank God for Grand Theft Auto allowing me to skip forward, because when I hit the plane missions, I try them.
Well, that's good.
But I almost succeed in them, and I'll keep trying a couple more times. And then I'm like, for my blood pressure, I got to move on.
For your homies.
Yeah.
Your blood homies.
Because if I don't, I'm just going to get angry and want to, like, tip my TV over.
Yeah,
so
stomp a Goomba.
Right. No, I'll land right in front of him.
Yeah, land right in front of it and watch the Goomba kick you in the face.
Watching me kicking this a Goomba. And then,
oh, shit.
Damn it.
Yep.
All right. Well, head on over to saltylanguage.com. Click all the links. Do the things. You can find the network that we're part of there, which I don't know if Tony's ready for.
There it is.
Tangent Bound Network.
I almost hit this one.
Which can be found.
Yeah, boy.
Dang it, the Flavor Flav Network makes its return. Yep. Head on over to tangentboundnetwork.com and check out the other shows there.
I think I have a response. Oh, Steve Zero comments, if you're doing it right.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, if you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find the show at salty_language. I almost said dynamic duo. Wow. That's going back a couple years. Yeah. You can find us at salty_language on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at StuNami.
You can find me on Instagram at The Monotony, and you can find the show basically everywhere. But saltylanguage.com is the hub. Find us on YouTube if you want to watch this nonsense. If you want to see Dollar Store, I almost said Jeffrey Jones. Dollar Store, the fuck is that guy's name? Jesse James. Jesus Christ.
I like it. Jeffrey Jones is the guy's real name, but Jesse James is the guy you're thinking of. Jeffrey Jones is this other guy.
Wasn't Jeffrey Jones the guy who played the principal in Ferris Bueller and ended up having child porn?
Oh God, I don't know.
It might have been.
I don't remember. I hope
he definitely had that mustache for it. Hey,
we'll put an allegedly in case.
Yeah. Go to Salty Language Pod on the YouTubes and whatever. Just like, subscribe, comment, love your friends.
Yeah.
Don't die in the snowpocalypse.
Yeah, these are all good things. All right, you want to pull up the?
Oh, absolutely.
Thing, and then we'll of course do the so until next week. Have a beer, you'll be fine.
This would cooperate. Stay super salty, everybody. And according to secondfortune.com, all right, you will show what you are capable of with your dick out.
Bologna smuggling.
Bologna smuggling.